Hey, girls. I'm
Hey.
so fucking excited to have you here. Like legit. We've been talking about this for a minute. Tamiko and Candace from the They Ain't Shit podcast.
Yes.
Stupid. They finish each other's sentences.
I just want to shout out to the equipment and the equipment manager wherever he's at, because
That would be me.
The tech guy,
so
the light guy.
No, you gotta pretend like you got like 10 people on
cool.
staff, my dude.
I got like 5 dudes out here working.
Yeah, exactly.
I employ people.
Not from the Home Depot. Not from the Home Depot.
I could tell with all this equipment, you hire people.
Hey, we're serious over here. We're serio pedo like a serious fart. You know what I mean?
Yes, I like it.
No, but so I'm super excited to have you guys on this thing together. Like this is a collaborative podcast. It's the first one I've ever done. And I wanted, because my podcast has been like super like male driven. It's been about young men. It's been about all those kinds of topics, just young people, mostly male.
Right.
So it's cool to have a feminine presence. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we've been talking on our episodes, like different ones, how we've wanted to bring like somebody in to bring like the male perspective to a bunch of different topics. So this is good.
Well, guess what?
Excellent.
I brought it here for you.
Yes.
Right on the table.
It's on the table.
He just pulled it out and put it on the table. You guys. I just want to let you know.
Just kidding. I was only kidding. So, Tamiko, let's talk about how we met. I would love people to know how we met because that's a cool story.
So we met, honestly, I feel like maybe another meme dealer that I followed on Instagram posted you, and then I started following you over a year ago. And then COVID hit. I know how to sew. So I was making masks to donate. And you were making masks to donate on your 3D printer, and you needed some supplies. And I was like, hey, I know. And like, I hit you up and we just linked up that way and stuff. And
I think it was more than that.
you
already forgot?
Dang.
Oh, I'm sad.
Oh, so you cheated on me already?
Dude, I have not cheated on either one of you. I love you both.
Dang.
No,
I
no.
got kicked out the room already and everything.
Let me fill in the story a little bit there. Get a little backstory. So,
Ooh,
yes, definitely
From the
COVID.
back.
From the back, too? Damn,
You said
girl.
the backstory.
Hey, we just got started.
Can somebody get
So,
the bartender to get me another drink?
jeez Louise. So, COVID-19 had just hit. It was really gnarly. Like, it became really bad early on. Like, we didn't know what it was. We had no idea. A friend of mine had contacted me and said, hey, I got these nurses in Brooklyn and New York and downtown New York who were really dealing with a lot of really hardcore shit. And the story I had gotten was this nurse, and somebody I know, by the way, that I grew up with, she had lost 2 of her nurse friends due to COVID. Like, they were treating patients while working.
Okay.
And they were young. So I was like, holy shit, like, what can I do? Because I've always been a person, my mom, my family raised me to be a kind of person to give back. You know what I mean? So I was like, dude, what can I do? I'm at home, my underwear, watching TV. Like, what can I do? You know what I mean?
Feet kicked up and everything.
I'm in my tarantarans. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Is your cape on too?
Oh, I say them hoes too.
Yay.
I was only kidding.
The no pants dance, because apparently he wears no pants all the time.
I
That's what we got.
Why you giving up my secrets?
We're literally recording no pants on right now.
Yeah.
Like Candace and I came in with pants,
like a
and we
Zoom
had
meeting.
to take our pants off because we felt really uncomfortable.
You want to know a true story? We recorded a podcast that's live right now. I was not wearing pants.
Stop!
I swear to God.
Oh my God. Okay,
And
we're
there's
joking,
pictures on
but
the
that's
internet.
fucking
It's
hilarious.
true. I swear to God.
That's the best.
I'm
I
hot,
want
I'm
to do
fat.
one that we don't wear pants. That'd be
I'm fat. I get hot.
hilarious.
I get hot. You know what I mean?
Dude, I have my fan right here next to me. I'm fucking. That's not.
Okay, so back to the story. So I was like, how do I give back? Because I've always wanted to give back in life. That's just part of who I am as a human. So I found a way to 3D print mask at the time, N95 mask. And so people were like, I can't find an N95 mask. I'm fucking going to lose it. And there was people who needed them at the time. So I posted on my Instagram, I'm like, hey, I need help. Because I don't need, I have the machine to print these, but I need materials. But the most important thing I need is the elastic stringing to the materials.
I think that was people were looking for was the elastic.
I saw that a lot. People were needing the elastic the most.
Yep. And so Tamiko was like, hey, I can get you one of those. I saw one of those in my neighborhood. And I was like, what? Really? She's like, yeah, I will get one. And so that's how I met her. So she came, she got, actually, she was like all through her neighborhood. I don't know what the fuck it was, somewhere in the IE.
So I was sewing masks, and we were running out of supplies. So my grandmother was a seamstress, taught my mom, and then my mom taught me when my grandmother passed a few years ago. So we make a lot of different things. And so I was like, Mom, we need to make masks. At first, it had just started with just like our friends and family that were like essential workers, and they were like, they couldn't find masks anywhere. So we were making them in like with pockets, they could put filters in and stuff like that. They could wash them. They were hand washable. So we started doing that. And then we were running out of our own supplies because we were just making it out of what we had.
Yeah.
So we were running out
Your
of that.
chonies?
So
Yeah.
She's like, put them on her face. She's like, Tony,
I
don't
saw
lie.
pictures of people doing that in the grocery store.
I'll wear your panties right now and go to the grocery store. I swear to
I
God.
don't know if this is like a rate. We can talk about this, but like it's always the whites. I always say that the whites are wild.
Stop that.
It's
Hey, they are wild.
They
though.
are
I'm not gonna
wild.
lie.
Stop that. I have a lot of
But
white
anyways,
friends.
it was no. I mean, we
My
have a lot
daughter's
of white
father's
friends,
white,
so,
so
yeah, I am a rich white lady.
Did you
for
say
the
your
record.
daughter's white?
my daughter's dad is white,
Hurts.
so
Okay, so stop that shit. Okay, back to the panties on my face.
But they're still wild. We can love them, and they
Yes.
can still
That's
be
true.
wild.
I just
That's
love them
true.
from a
Yeah.
distance. But
Yeah.
you know,
Not me.
Jesus
Some whites.
Christ. I'm going to edit this shit out. These girls just
No,
got started.
no, this is
Hey,
good.
we
We are
haven't got
not
past the
racist
part
or
of being
none of that.
sentimental about how we met.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, so I was going to this fabric. I found out that this little fabric store in Ontario, that I used to hit up because I'm from out there, they were opening up on the low. Like, we're gonna open up a back door and you can come in and stuff. And I was like, cool.
We
So
all
I
love
had
the back
gone,
door.
and they were like, "We'll let you know." They were only.
Candace. Jesus Christ.
We're trying. See what I mean? This happens all the fucking time. Now I have somebody else to witness this shit. But so they were telling me every time they had elastic, and I was like, "Save me, black and white." Like, I'm gonna go in because they were selling it like 300 yards of it, like
Yeah,
the big
yeah.
spool. And so then when you posted that, I was like, "Yep, I'm going to pick some up." So I'll let you know how much it is and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So that's how we linked up.
And it
Yeah.
was crazy because I was like, I don't even know. This was the first thing, like, it kind of reminded me of like 9/11 because right now we're so divided, right? Everyone's like divided. We're so divided. You're black, you're white, you're anti-cop, you're pro-cop. I'm
Yeah.
fucking Ford, you're Chevy. I'm left, you're right. I'm pro-Trump, I'm anti-Trump. It was so divided.
Right.
But here's the crazy thing. That was the first time in my my existence on Instagram where I felt like, holy shit, people are really connected at the same time. Because I got seriously like about $4,000 or $5,000 of donations of different material, 3D printers, and it was one post that I posted, and Tamika was one of the first ones that responded, and I was like, holy shit, man, you're gonna go to that store for me? She's like, oh yeah, I got it, it's cool, I got it.
Yeah.
And then she texted me a picture. She's like, well, it's a little watered down. I was like, I don't give a fuck if it's burnt. Send
Yeah.
it to me. Like,
Because
I need
even
that.
the stores were not getting supplies, and they were like, they're only giving us so many, and they were only selling to people that knew that were making it for like masks. and
Right,
stuff.
right.
So they knew that I was picking up material to make masks, and I was like, I need an extra one, and that's when I went to get it for you.
That was super cool. So that's how we met.
Yeah.
And then we've been bullshitting online for about, what, 6 or 7 months now?
Yeah, and then ever since then, he was like, "This is the love of my life. Like, what am I doing?"
but then he moved. But he moved me in behind your back. Yeah.
Dude,
There we go.
both these girls are going to get it later. It's like 4 hours and a few shots of
Okay,
whiskey.
but not at the same time. no.
It's going to be, why not? What the fuck? You guys are no fun. Okay, I can take turns.
we can share a podcast.
You go in one
but we
room, I'll
can't
go in the
share a
other. You
guy.
just
You guys are so stupid. Swear to
all
God.
jokes, all jokes.
Yeah, but so that was cool. That was a cool way to meet people. And that was the first time that I realized like the power of like the internet. I was like, this is
Yeah.
really cool.
No,
Because
yeah.
I printed 3D N95 masks for, God, man, about 4 or 5 months, 24/7.
Yeah.
And I shipped out thousands of them. And the first probably 1,500 of those
Yeah.
were due to you
Yeah.
because I had the elastic to send them out.
Yeah.
Or I couldn't
That's
send them
cool.
out. So
That's
that's
nice.
cool. Those went, just so you know, those went to nurses.
Yeah.
They went to probably about a couple hundred doctors, nurses, doctors,
Wow.
firemen, a lot of law enforcement,
Yeah.
firemen. They went to a lot of people. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Oh,
See, I
you're
bought-
nice after all.
I bought my way into heaven.
No, you
With
didn't.
that.
No, she didn't. Not yet.
Oh my god!
He burst your bubble wrap. He was
Like,
like,
thank you, Tamiko. Fuck off, Tamiko. That
I
was
was
that.
just
That's
kidding.
how quick that shit
I
turned.
was just kidding. No, honestly, that was awesome, and I appreciate
No, it
you.
was,
Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, it was super cool. We got donations also. We donated not quite as many, probably about 1,000 that we hand sewed and sent out, but none of them were charged. We didn't charge anybody for any of them. So we did start a GoFundMe, but I ended up giving the money to my mom so she could buy a new machine.
I didn't know
and
you were
stuff.
doing that.
Yeah. I still do it. I have so much. So where we record is at my it's like my
It's all her
workspace
stuff.
/ sewing space / this / that. And I have now I have 2 sewing machines, and I have like all my fabric that I still
I
have.
didn't know that.
So if there is a second wind, I could just sew masks.
Can you sew me a banana hammock?
I can. Yeah,
she can.
Yeah.
Cool. I want to rock it to the left, hanging out. Party to the right. You know what I mean? I'm
He
just
wants to
saying.
wear it backwards.
Yeah, I want to wear it backwards. That's what
Good
I'm
thing
saying.
I brought my measuring tape. We can measure it.
It's more than 7 inches. I'm just saying.
When she
Just kidding.
when she
Oh, and
asked
according
me,
to our scale from the Sex Ain't Shit episode that we did, that's big. We consider that big.
Really?
Yeah.
7 inches is big?
More than 6+ is big.
Okay, so what's small? Okay,
We-
let's shift the transition of this conversation
We're talking
to the
about
They
big
Ain't
dicks
Shit
now.
podcast because
Yeah.
these girls have some good topics. And if you're
Yeah.
not following them and listening to it, you should.
Oh,
thank you.
I really, really enjoyed listening to the podcast, like all the episodes. I was like, because I knew you already.
Right.
I didn't know you had a podcast like
Right.
that. So I spent the last week going, oh shit. But then I thought, I gotta bring my dick to the table because these girls are too much. You know what I mean? I got,
We are.
you know,
yeah. We're pretty big personalities as it is. So
Yeah.
and it just started with this last year.
It was me.
We had been. She was
Yeah.
like, we should have a podcast, and
I was like, I want to do a podcast. I was like, we should do. I was like, at first I think I said I want to do. I was like, I really
Yeah.
want to do a podcast like guys ain't shit. Well, technically I didn't say guys.
See, she
I
was
used
mad
another
at guys.
term.
see?
I used another term, and then I was like, and she was like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah, I kind of like really want to do a podcast, like just
Yeah.
but not necessarily just talking like about guys. Just it was just like kind of like almost venting or kind of getting out your thoughts about
Right.
things."
Right.
And she was like, "I'm down," and I was like, "What do we call it?" And I was like, "Oh, they ain't shit," or like. God,
Well,
because we didn't want to narrow it down to guys ain't shit. I just happened to be going through something at the time, so I was like, like
You're always good.
I'm always going through guy problems. Let me tell you.
She-
No,
But
but it was
anyways.
because it was like, what do? We talk. Best friends get together and they just talk shit. Let's be honest. That's what women do most of the time, right? So for us, it was
so
just
toxic
like
guys ain't shit.
Toxic.
we did a girlfriends ain't shit
Shit.
one, and we do talk
Okay.
about toxic girlfriends. So yeah, it was really about that. It was just like, and unlike the episode names would lead you to believe,
They're
we
not
talk.
really-
it's like
Yeah,
pro
they're-
and con.
It's
for
not
that
really, yeah.
topic.
It's just
Right.
because the podcast is they ain't shit. So we pick a topic and then we talk about it. So at first, yeah, we may sound like we're bashing it, but I think it's just more, we're not,
Yeah.
it's, we give, excuse me, like the pros and the cons, or like our,
Did you fart?
I belched, but
Oh,
anyways.
okay. I thought you farted for a
No,
second.
I'm drinking
I was
beer.
like, damn, girl. This is the first.
I was like, yeah,
First
let me
collab,
lift-
she
let
squeezed
me
one
lift-
out?
Lift the cheek. No, so like I think people think though that they believe or they think even listening to it that we're talking shit, like we're bashing like
About that
whatever
topic.
that topic is,
No.
but we're not really bashing. It's just saying like because our podcast is they ain't shit, so it's take out the they and it'll be like women ain't shit, guys ain't shit,
Right.
kids ain't shit.
Yeah.
And then we kind of talk about like funny stories of like things we've been through because it's
Right.
our perspective of what we've been through
Right.
individually. But then we also like kind of like give our thoughts on like, the pros, or like what we kind of think. And then we've had a few guests, on our shows who
Yeah,
kind of
sure.
give their about being married,
Right, yeah.
coworkers and
Y'all both been married a couple times, right?
I've never
me,
been married.
Just me.
I've never been
So
married.
that's the other thing is that we've both kind of lived. We've been friends since we were 11. I've known Candace since we were 11.
That's a lot of dicks in between. They know about all the dicks too.
But it's funny because we get into that also, that despite what other people believe, me personally, and I think Candace is like this also.
We're not a size queen.
No, but we don't really talk about our sex lives.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
to each other, really?
Yeah, I
We
don't talk.
don't.
I don't. But see,
For
I
me,
don't talk
Well,
about
on
my
the
sex.
podcast, y'all opened up wild on a lot
Well,
of
because
stuff.
that was
a
the
lot about what we
podcast.
had gone through.
Yeah,
Oh.
but
Right.
I don't personally, even to any friends, I don't talk about my sex life on who I'm with and what I what I do, what I
Really?
Out of
don't do.
respect.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about that soon. 'cause
but today, not today, but that day that we did that
Episode.
was it sex? Sex
Yeah.
ain't shit.
I learned a hell of a lot.
And
lot
I
of shit
learned a lot about
Candace.
her because
Yeah.
I don't talk and she doesn't talk. So
About that.
Oh.
we and we didn't talk about, like, I didn't talk about the relationship that I was in at the time. And Sheeta didn't talk about, hers, but we just talked about like how the small and big and what we considered. And we didn't really know. I thought, certain was like
Candace was
small.
like, I want that dong, oh, that 12
I
inch.
know. So we had to like go, no, because I'm not a size queen.
just
Like,
kidding.
but I went on and Googled it. That might
Sorry.
be you.
Wait,
but
you
not everybody.
made
Googled
a
what's a
face.
big dick? Or like, what's
We
a big
did.
dick?
We Googled
Like-
it because we were debating. I was like, well, I think like
So we settled on
4 or 5 is small.
smaller than, like anything smaller than 4 is small.
What the 4 inches is small?
Like
That's a little dick.
that's what I said. But
this
she
is what
was
I'm
like,
saying.
it's average.
But you know why I'm
But she
saying
was
this?
saying it was
It's because
average.
You've
She was
not
saying
seen
5.
a lot of dicks, my dude. That's why.
I grew up. Okay, my generation, like we went to fucking the locker room. Everyone was naked showering. It was a weird thing.
Also, Oxnard has a lot of big dick guys.
No, I'm just saying, like you like 4-5 inches is big to you.
Well,
No,
I thought-
I'm
We said
swanging.
average.
I
We
thought it
said
was
4
so-
to 6.
Oh, 4 to 6 is
average.
It's
Bigger
average.
than 6 is big.
Big.
That's what we said.
But see, I thought
Okay.
like 5
But it's not
was
about- okay.
below average.
Y'all talking about length though? What about girth? So I think girth is more important than length, right? That's what I hear.
So it is. But
I'll give you that soda can dick. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
See, okay, so do you remember on the episode for our listeners that are listening, we talk about there was the guy that I called Magic Stick. He had the Magic Stick.
Oh, yeah, yes,
He
yes,
was
yes.
wide. He
Jesus
had
Christ.
a real girthy dick, and that's
The guy
probably
that talked
why.
you through your orgasms, is that the same guy?
Yes, that was you.
See, I listened to the
listen.
podcast.
Dude,
I
it
listened about. By the way, everybody who's listening to this right now, these girls, their podcast. If you listen to it, like, go from the newest to the oldest,
Okay,
because I
okay.
think it'll kind of blow your mind. But you hear about they start naming guys' names. A,
No, we-
E, B,
oh, we
C,
gave them
D.
letters.
They gave vacation dick. Like, who the fuck is the vacation dick? This one was vacation dick. What the fuck? Like these girls give dudes
'Cause
names.
we only went on vacation. Not we, but one of us went on vacation with him. That's why he was vacation dick.
Okay, well, I'm just saying like that's crazy.
Well, we're not gonna call him out like Jose or whatever. We're gonna be like,
Hey Jay,
the
you're
active nigga.
faithful. It ain't that hard to figure it out, puto.
But we actually
Hey
talked
Jose and
about that.
I, puto, you got fucked by one of these. I'm just saying. And Edgar, Efren, whoever the fuck it is, some of those fools out there, they called that fool E too. I was like, damn, A, B, C, D, E, F,
We
G.
went
We
to
just
the
run through the
alphabet.
alphabet.
I'm just saying, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you added a shit like vacation. I'm like, well, I gotta say vacation. People gotta figure that shit
we've
out.
Had, between us, we've had a lot of sex. I don't consider myself a hoe, I guess.
No.
But you know what?
I don't consider you a
that
hoe.
term, but that term is
So loosely used.
you don't even know
But-
what is a hoe to somebody may not be a hoe to another person. But,
Okay, so let me ask this: our bitches ain't shit.
Oh, all
Or
of the bitches ain't shit.
let me
We ain't
ask
shit.
this. So let's segue into kind of the topical portion of this podcast.
Okay.
So are women too wild in 2020?
Yes.
Yeah.
Without even knowing any backstory to how, like, because there's so many things you could be in right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
But yes.
The reason why I say that is because I have a lot of women often in my DMs who are like, "Hey, it's women or men fucking suck because I can't find a man who wants to date me and wants to be in a serious relationship." And I'm like, "Yeah, you want to know why?
It's because she's sending nudes in your DMs.
Why you gotta bring that shit up? Come on, Candace."
First of all, we know
Hey,
about
we already
you,
know.
hoes.
We know.
I have a legit kind of theory around this, and I thought was first of all, I thought I was unique in saying this, but I found out fucking Dave Chappelle did a fucking comedy skit 20 years ago about this, and I was like, I thought it was my fucking idea, but I call it pussy economics, right?
Ooh,
So
hit me
Okay.
with it.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah. So let me
let's
hit you.
learn.
I
So
didn't take that 101
Take
in
notes.
college.
Take
I'm
notes,
about to give it to
please.
you, girl. We're professors in fucking session. You know what I mean? Listen. So,
I
by
got
the
my
way,
notebook.
before I even go here, if I have this conversation with a woman one-on-one, 99% of the time they're like, "Fuck yeah, you're right." But if I have this conversation with a group of women, they're like, "Fuck you, you piece of shit pig," which is weird because I
Okay,
think
well, hit us with it.
women group over there. So I call it pussy economics. So when I have women come into my DM saying, "Why don't men want to be in a relationship?" I'm like, they don't have to be in a relationship anymore. And they're like, "Well, why not?" And I said, because the reality is pussy is so easy and cheap now.
Yep.
Women have flooded, and this is where the economic part comes in. They flooded the fucking pussy market with cheap, easy pussy, that the value of pussy has gone way down. And it's worth nothing. Like men, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Fucking hate me if you want, but we're dumb. We need something to aspire to. We need something that dangles in front of us to be like, I want to go do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you can get laid all the time, like even the fattest, ugliest person, like I'm not an attractive guy. Like I'm not. But
Okay,
Smell
for
good,
all,
you
okay,
smell
for
good.
I
all
smell
of
good.
the girls that
See,
slide
Candace
into
is
your
honest.
DMs,
Candace
I'm
is
just gonna
honest.
say no. He's so cute.
Whatever. Candace is
No, you're not. Okay, you're not
I
a
think
bad
you're good
looking guy.
looking.
You're not a bad looking guy.
But I'm saying I'm no fucking Brad Pitt is what I'm saying. So if I can get laid Monday through Sunday with a new chick if I wanted to,
Yeah, you could.
society's fucking wrong. You know what I mean? Like fucking like it's so easy to get laid today. It's fucking ridiculous. So men.
So what you're saying is that before you had to pay for it. Now you
I
can
had to work for it.
But the
I had
thing
to
is
work
like
for it.
also
Yeah.
for like a woman's perspective, like guys don't slang dick like how women will just slide in your DM with a naked picture, not even a hey, how are you? You know, my name is whatever.
I think women have it easier in that aspect.
Well, I'll say this. So I have have I taken sexy pictures? Yeah, but I have never taken a nude because for me,
She's lying.
even with like any of my ex-husbands or like a boyfriend, never, because for me it's like, then what does it leave? That leaves nothing to the imagination. Like you got to leave a little bit, like
Totally.
I was only kidding. The rest.
I was only kidding when I said she was lying. Tamika's an awesome chick. But so back to the pussy economics though. So what I'm saying is that men today, like a lot of men, not all men, but a lot of women are like sitting at home going, I can't find a relationship. I can't find the guy who wants to be with me and actually go to dinner and actually do dates or whatever. They just want to fuck me. And I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to worry about all the other shit they used to have to get laid. So if you put pussy on a platter for men, and then men don't have to anything to work for it, why wouldn't they? I mean, why? In other words, there's a stupid saying, and I actually hate it, but like, why fucking buy the whole cow if you just want the milk?
Yeah.
That's literally what it boils down to. And we're in a weird kind of space. So when women say shit like that, I'm like, oh, women are kind of to blame for that. Give me something to work for, and I will fucking work for it. You know what I mean?
I will say, so I will go even further. So I agree with a lot of what you just said, but I think it's not just women. I think men have also helped to devalue it in some way, shape, or form. So I think that this is a little hard for me because I think a lot like a guy when it comes to like having
She's
sex
got a
and stuff
4-inch
like that.
dick.
Well, because first of all, if I was gonna have a dick, it's gonna definitely be bigger than 4 inches.
4.5.
Let's get that right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hold on, let me whip it out, put it on the table.
Oh shit, she put her dick on the table, guys.
No, but so we were talking about this a little bit because I had just recently seen the movie, and then Candace and I were talking about the book about Think Like a Man. And one of the topics that comes up is about women, like this 90-day grace period to have sex, right?
But it's true.
I had a problem with that theory, though. I didn't agree with a lot of the stuff that Steve Harvey said. So I don't know if you know. So it's a Steve Harvey book.
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah.
Read the book. There's two
I haven't
books.
read it.
Two
I'm
books,
sorry.
and then it turned into two movies.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey, the guy from the TV.
Yeah, Steve Harvey from what Family?
I can't take him too serious.
No, but the book is really good. I'm not gonna lie, it's really good, and the whole like 90-day thing.
Right.
But I mean,
it was good enough they made it into a movie, and it was a really good movie.
I mean, he gives a lot of good like perspective as from like a man and like advising women, like you want that man and you want that man to stay. Like you don't just sleep on the first date. You don't sleep on the second date. You don't sleep on the third date.
But what I was saying was that, so I had a problem with what he said about this 90-day rule, meaning like there's a lot of like rules that go into that one rule, but basically don't sleep with the man make him wait 90 days, make him earn it.
Because if he sticks around for the 90 days,
I was like, what? I'm not waiting 90 days.
Right.
Like I got
Me
my
either.
shit
Fuck
together.
that.
I have my shit together, and I'm bringing the same thing to the table on the first date as I am 90 days later.
Sure.
So for me, that's not happening. Like I need to know what you're working with in the beginning, because we also talk about this on our episode. I can't be in a relationship with somebody if the sex is bad.
Right.
And this is something I learned about her. She was
Ooh-wee.
like, Candace was like, well, sex isn't everything. And I was like, well, it's everything for me.
it's a plus.
Like,
For
it's
me,
just
it's a
not.
plus.
Because then everything else is like a fail.
See,
Like, it's
to
just
me,
not gonna work.
sex is huge. Like
Yeah,
if I'm not able to finger bang you at the Vaughn's fucking checkout line, like I'm not even trying to be with you. I'm just saying that's me though. You know what I mean? But that's me though. Like sex is everything to me. At least not everything. Let me take that back.
It's a
big
bonus.
deal.
It's a
in
huge thing
relationship.
to me. I want to be attracted to you. I want to touch you. I want to, like, all those things matter to me. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
but so say sex is great. She's attractive, but she's a dingbat. Like she can't cook.
I'm getting
her
rid of that
common
one.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so many men will not, and this is where I talk about the men help.
And then that's a
devalue
woman.
That's the same thing.
But that's
Right.
a woman who is always like, well, I can't keep after we have sex or whatever. I can't keep them around. Like, well, because you obviously
Not bringing
you're not
anything
bringing
else to
anything
the
to the
table.
table.
Oh, for sure.
Or
Okay,
you're
so
not letting him, or you're not waiting that 90 days and letting him get to know you, because I'm sure within those 90 days he's gonna realize this bitch can't cook.
Yeah, but you're
she
talking
can't
about-
clean. She can't hold a basic conversation. You know,
Candace is talking about what I call unicorn pussy, though. Like, a lot of women out there
Unicorn.
Yeah, that's a unicorn pussy.
I
Like,
really like these terms. Hold on, let me write this one down.
Take notes, please.
so like, there's not a lot of women out there that can do both. You know what I mean? Like there's, so that's also a thing too. So I think it boils down to like what you can deal with. You know what I mean? Like, what are you willing to accept? I do
Right.
agree 100% that you should make somebody get to know you.
Yeah.
And that's my point of the entire topic when I started this conversation is like that, like, women, seriously, it's cool if you're living your best life. If you're fucking Cardi B out there, that's cool. I don't judge you. I'll make fun of you.
Right.
I don't judge you. Get yours. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, if you're doing that, don't cry to me that you can't find a good man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you want a good man, make a motherfucker work for it.
Or your man cheated on you, or
all that shit.
because at the end of the day, like you as a man, you're gonna realize like if we have a child, and that child is a female, she's gonna raise obviously that child the way she is. Like if she can't cook, how's her child gonna learn how to? How's your child gonna learn how to cook? You know, if she doesn't clean, your child's never gonna know that your room can't be a filthy pigsty. You know.
I think one of the other issues is that going back to what you were talking about how women hate you because you're a pig or whatever, like because of what you say, like the conversations that you have with them, is that a lot of these women are not talking to men about this. They're talking to their other female friends. And they're just like, it's the bitches got together and they're
just
fucking
a powwow. And
oh,
they're just,
girl, you weren't wrong.
Yes.
Girl,
Oh,
have
yeah.
you seen yourself in the mirror? You're a queen.
yes,
You're this.
You're
You're that.
gorgeous. Yeah.
No.
But all they have to offer is that TJ special. I mean,
Right.
I
So-
will call Candace out on her shit, and she will call me out on her shit. Those are the type of friends you need. Women, those are the type of friends you need.
like okay,
Don't
so,
get mad
like
when
the
they're
whole,
honest
like
with
the
you.
thing
Oh,
of
wait,
the whole
I'm
90
glad you
days.
brought this up.
Like about what?
Oh, we're
Why?
going to talk about it all.
About
honey.
women, like telling other women how they should be fucking interacting in their relationships.
Like they're the
'Cause we
first
don't,
ones to be
like-
like, fuck that guy, girl. And then what? Then
And
what happens when
When they
your
get
girl
back-
gets
gets
back,
back and
with
it-
him?
And
Yeah.
it's always
you
the
look like the
woman
fool.
it's always the friend, not the woman, but the friend who has the worst relationship or is not in a relationship. It's always the one. It's always that chick who's like it's the one chick who's like, she's like 45 years old and has been married sorry. I can't say that because Tamika's going to punch my face. But okay, but she's been, I'm going to say it, been married 3 times or has been like fucking single for 10 years. And she's the one telling her friends how to live their fucking life and how to deal with their relationships. And that's silly to me.
Yeah.
Like, because it's women. This is the problem with women too today. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. It boils down to everything that's going on right now. Like, women are super insecure about their bodies, for instance.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with men. I can say that 100%.
But I'm gonna touch
Have you
on
seen
that.
my polls?
Let me touch on that subject though,
Have you seen my
because I
polls?
feel no, but I feel like
Saying.
yeah, women are insecure. We are insecure about our bodies or our looks, and a lot of it has to do with like magazines and TV. But I feel like a lot of it boils down to at the same time, like to men. Like a lot of men don't really like instill in their girl or the girl they are dating at that time.
Okay.
Like you're beautiful. Like you don't need makeup. Like you're fine the way you are.
You're
A lot
fucking
of
with the
men.
wrong dudes.
A lot of men don't. That's the thing.
You're fucking
yes,
with the wrong
I know.
dudes.
I've
Those
been
dudes
in,
ain't shit.
but I've
Podcast.
been
Let's
in
do that one.
no, but
Because-
I've been
but
in
this is where we don't
relationship.
agree.
But I've been in relationships
Yeah.
where guys have like, oh, you look good. You don't need makeup. Like I'll be like, oh, I need to lose weight. No, you're fine. Like you're fine.
Girl, you're
Size-
fine. Trust me.
Like,
Hey, them hips ain't light.
but
you know what I mean? I'm just saying. You know what I
But
mean?
I like, but that's what I'm saying. But then I've been in relationships where like, oh, I feel like I need to lose weight. Well, oh, I'll go to the gym if you feel you need to lose weight. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
I think that has to do with it too. Also, I feel like as parents, I feel when raising like a child, I feel like maybe we could tell our daughters like, you know, you're beautiful. Don't ever let anybody tell you. Like instill it in their minds. So at
Sure.
the end of the day, as they grow up, they realize like, no matter what size I am, no matter
Sure.
how thin I am, whether I have boobs, don't have boobs, a butt, don't have a butt.
You're talking to the torta whisperer right now.
Like
I'm just
I
saying.
am beautiful. You know what I mean? Like, and they wouldn't, you know, look at TV and think that like, oh, that's what I need to look like.
So here's,
You know what I mean?
Here's where and why I disagree with Candace on that, because
Ooh, it's gonna
and
get
I feel
serious
like
now.
but I feel like it does have a lot to do with like the recent kind of like occurrences that have happened in our lives, and we don't have to get into it, but it's just that like, so me having gone through what I've gone through, you know, it's going to be 5 years that I've been separated / divorced from my ex-husband. And we have a wonderful co-parenting relationship because of our daughter.
It's beautiful, actually.
It is. I will say that I do get a lot of comments about people that I know, people that I don't know, about how great it is. And it really is. It puts things into perspective for me because we do work really hard at it, you know, because it's probably it's easier for us to hate each other, but it's that much harder for us to actually get along and have gotten over our stuff or whatever. But I dealt with everything. Like, I was single for a really long time afterwards by choice, because I had a lot of shit I needed to deal with. And that breakup helped me realize that, like, fuck, I need to deal with all this shit that I'm dealing with myself. And I think that's one of the things that Candace has not taken the time to do, because for me, I don't care if I'm in a new relationship. I don't care. Your ex-girl could look like an Instagram model, be 100 pounds lighter, have a big old booty, have big old titty. I don't give a fuck, because at the end of the day, I don't care what she looks like, if I've seen her, what her name is, how many kids she had. If you guys have kids together, I know what I'm bringing to the table, and I got my shit on lock. So I will put my shit against any woman with the guy that I'm dating any day. Any day of the week that ends in Y. Like, I don't give a fuck what you got. Doesn't matter. Like, this is me. I'm good. Like, I'm confident in what I'm doing. That's what it is. And that's why I get so frustrated with her sometimes, just on a personal level, our friendship, because she doesn't see how good she is.
Candace.
I mean, you just had this guy telling you, like, oh, you're banging, girl. Oh, you're this.
She's
that.
banging. Candace is banging. This is therapy hour with the Torta Whisperer.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
But because I know what I bring to the table. I'm not gonna say I don't, because like that's why I was gonna say is the whole 90-day thing, because I can cook, I clean, I raise my daughter.
She got booty,
I make decent money.
She got booty, guys.
So,
I'm just saying.
Say it again for the people in the back.
She got booty, guys. And those hips didn't lie since the junior high. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
We're going to find you a date.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm going to shoot it now.
No.
We're going to find her a real man up in this motherfucker.
No, I'm good.
She's got a bonnet on and everything.
I'm working on myself, guys. I'm good right now.
So, yeah, I think that, like, the emphasis, like, it doesn't matter what any man says about you. Don't get me wrong. It helps. It helps. Yeah. It makes you feel a little better. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I know that I look good. I know I feel good. I know I got my shit on lock. Like, not just my appearance, everything else. So I'm good. Like, you know, you walk with that confidence, and that speaks volumes.
It does. Yeah.
So I think Tamiko came here with a bunch of fucking notes. She literally wrote a notebook.
I left my book at home. Like,
our podcast operate totally differently than the way yours is. Yours is very conversational, and ours is like not only because of like how our podcast is set up, but it's very topic oriented, where we pick one topic and try to stick to that topic as much as possible. But we were just so excited to be here, like that you invited us to have this male perspective and male energy and bring that to our podcast, because I think that's a big deal for us.
I'm loving it. So I know you have a lot of questions or some shit in that notebook. Start firing them, because I got some for you too. I left mine.
I didn't even take notes. Normally, it's funny because we're so busy that we don't even, till we get to like her place, I'm like, okay, like, what are we gonna talk about? And I start taking notes. Unless I have time when I'm at home, then I'll like take notes. But I hadn't taken notes because I've been busy, and then I took it out of my car, so it's at my house.
So since we're kind of joining forces, I know, so we've done recently we did a Single Moms Ain't Shit podcast where we talk about ourselves. We talk about the definition of a single mom.
I got some shit to say about that too.
So let's get into the definition.
Huh? Candace has got to pee. Oh, this is the first time we have to take a podcast break because she's drinking Modelo's. We're going to take a break.
And now you're going to have to pee like every fucking
We'll splice this back together. We'll take a break. This is the first time I've ever had to do this, by the way. See?
Oh, I would have let you guys.
You don't have women on the podcast.
I would have let you guys keep talking. I just would have dipped out real quick.
No, because you're on camera. How you going to dip out? Hey, women's bladders ain't shit.
It's old ladies' bladders ain't shit. Yeah, from what Tamiko would say.
Fuck me sideways.
2 hours later.
Damn, Candace had to go wee-wees real quick.
Jesus.
She took care of it, though.
5-year-old bladder.
She didn't wash her hands either.
I got that grandma bladder.
Because,
you know, I'm old.
It happens.
Hey.
Well, I'm glad to be back.
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, we're back.
Tamiko's
all of a sudden, she gets all quiet.
She's all shy
like,
now.
Sorry.
Hey, her voice went all high. Hi.
Hi. That's how I always started off with. Because I sound like a man the other time, so I need to be like, hi.
me in the beginning.
Hey, what's up, fool?
What's up, dog?
Hey, don't ever do that again. Now she's not getting fucked for sure.
She's gonna come in the bedroom like, what's up?
The guys like it.
That was weird. Don't do that ever again.
He went like this to this.
He's like, I'm never
I
gonna.
was only kidding. I'm not fucking anybody. I'm going to bed. Jacking off. Just,
You guys have the couch.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. Okay, so we were talking about. So we were trying to segue into single moms. Like for me, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, Javi, was you are.
Can you say Javi again?
Javi.
She's going to get fucked now.
Javier.
Just kidding. I was only kidding.
But she don't got the voice like me though.
Oh god.
Candace, can you say Javi?
Candace's
Say Javi.
commercials.
Yes.
She can't do
She's-
it. I can't do it.
She's, come on, do the commercial voice.
I feel like you're a giggler. Do you giggle during sex, bitch?
No,
Lies.
I don't even really talk.
What?
I feel like we didn't get into that. But
I
anyways,
talk, but I
Okay,
don't
back
talk.
to
I'm
the
not holding a
fucking
full-on
topic.
conversation.
wanted to ask you because you're a single dad. So we got into the definition of what a single mom
And we
is.
think completely
Sure.
different.
And one of our listeners called us out on our episode, said like, you guys kind of contradicted yourselves. And then we listened back and we were like, fuck, we confused ourselves. So for the record, our interpretation of what a single mom is, I have always called myself a single mom since my separation/divorce from my ex-husband/baby daddy. But I've never done it on my own. He has been there from the day my daughter was born, and he will continue to be there. There's one thing I can never say about the guy is that guy is a fantastic father. So I've never done it on my own. Like it's always been a co-parenting relationship. Did we struggle ourselves? Yeah, but he's always been there for my daughter. But I still consider myself a single mom because I always say I'm a mom first before I'm a woman. So that's why
That's weird.
that I'm a mom first.
You're a woman before you became a mom.
That's so not chronologically, but now that I'm a mom first before anything else.
So, okay, so what does that mean, though? Like, I'm
So
a
like my
mom before
daughter
I'm a
comes
woman?
before
Herself.
Sure.
myself.
But why throw
my
gender in
needs.
it? Just say I'm a mom first.
Oh, okay. Well, what I'm saying is because
I'm
the
a dad first,
alternative-
having my dick on this table.
No, no. What I meant
Because she's
was
considered herself a single mom.
because if I don't call myself a single mom, then I'm
Gotcha.
a single woman. That's why. That's
I
the
got
only
you.
reason.
Okay,
That's what I
okay,
meant.
gotcha.
But Candace, so what's your definition?
Of me?
No, of single mom.
Oh, well, I feel like if you're raising your child, not independently, I can't say, but on your own with no help or very minimal help, where pretty much you're, like my child goes with her father every blue moon. And at times, even when he goes with her, it's for the day for a few hours.
Right.
And it wasn't until maybe the past few years where he's finally paid child support.
Ooh.
And it's very minimal.
Right.
You know, so I've done it. I considered I'm a single mom. I don't like, he's not really involved. You know what I mean? Like
In her life,
in her life.
So I think
like
you guys
that.
are splitting hairs.
we are because and we
Yeah,
talked
'cause
about that was
we're-
one of the things we
yeah.
talked about.
Yeah. You're totally splitting hairs. I think you're both single moms. Like at the end of the day,
Okay.
like you're a mom who's single.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not in a relationship. You're doing your shit on your own or whatever.
But she's
That kind of thing.
she is single in the sense that she's single and she's a mom raising a child, but she's not doing it on her own.
Never.
She
Like not
has-
financially.
She's not doing
not
it financially.
emotionally. Not in
Right.
any sense
You know,
of the word.
back to school, both parents are
Yep.
going.
Sure.
You know,
100%.
where me, it's me by myself.
Right.
When my daughter needs something, I have to take her. I have to do it. Like an example, I asked my daughter wanted to go to her dad's, and I was like, "Well, you can, but he's gonna have to bring you back because Sunday before I go to work, I got to take you to buy soccer stuff."
Sure.
I said, "So ask your dad if he can take you, you know, and then you can stay the night."
That was fun.
So she called him and told him the situation. Like, well, I had practice on Monday. I need stuff. She's supposed to take me on Sunday. So if you're going to take me, I need to come back on Saturday. And he said, "Oh, don't worry. I'll take you."
Mm-hmm.
Takes her, come Sunday, drops her off. And he's like, "Oh, well, because it was rainy, she had some excuse. So I had to explain it to her. Like now my plans and everything are like, I'm not even home. I'm not nowhere near here. I didn't plan it."
Right.
So her excuse that he gave her was, "Oh, because of the rain, and they did something else." And so I had to explain to her, "Well, do you understand where he's telling you something to lie to me? Because
Right.
it makes no sense. Because
Right.
if it's raining, then why did you go out and do something?"
Sure.
You
Right.
get what I'm saying? So
Because it was fun for him.
yeah, and I understood. I realized, it dawned on me why he said, "Yeah, I'll take you," with no intentions on taking her on Sunday to
Right.
go get soccer stuff. Was because he knew that if he said, I can't take you, then he knew she wasn't gonna be able to stay the night from Friday to Sunday morning, or Sunday when he would drop her off. He would have to pick her up Friday and drop her off Saturday.
I think you guys are splitting hairs big time though.
No, but it is totally different. So what do you consider?
So I call myself something different though. Like I think you're both single moms for sure, but I think I'm a full-time single father, which is the difference.
I would consider myself a full-time single mom.
Yes, because your situation's different. So you could say that.
Right.
Tamiko couldn't say that.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Agree 100%.
Because Tamiko has like a good support system. I've seen the
Right.
videos of your daughter. They're fucking amazing.
Right.
They're beautiful. Like the video of her, what was the Star Wars character?
She was Ahsoka Tano.
Oh my God, it was beautiful. Like if you watch that video,
it was a cute video.
that video should have 1 million fucking views and whatever.
She should have gone viral.
Beautiful. It should have gone viral for sure.
Yeah,
Like,
and it was just like it was a collab effort. So like my ex-husband / baby daddy, his wife is an editor.
okay.
And so she edited it together. It's teamwork. Like, I did the costume and got her makeup ready and everything and helped her work on her monologue. And then, he was full on, he's such a huge Star Wars like nerd. So it was like perfection, like at every minute, like, directing that. So it was total collab and we were so proud. Like when it happened, it was like so cool. But yeah,
So I think my answer
Total
to
support
the
system.
question is, what is a full-time or what is a single mom? There's a lot of single parents, moms, dads, whatever. But there's a very few of us that are doing it alone. Solo. And I've been doing it alone for 7.5 years now, going almost on 8. So the reality is, the fact is that there's a different, I guess it's just terminology, kind of splitting hairs in a sense.
Right.
But people are like, are you a single dad? Yeah, I've been a single dad since my son was 2.
Right.
But I've been a full-time single father for the last, since he was 10. That's a different thing. And now he's 17 and a half. So that's a different thing. And you, being a mom who's doing it alone in a sense, totally, I would call you a full-time single mother because you're doing it on your own.
So I had the guy that I was with at the time when he heard our episode, right? Because I said I didn't consider, like, he took it as, oh, so you don't consider me a single dad. And I'm like, well, you get your son every other weekend. And
single dad by definition, fool, but you ain't a daddy.
You're not. I was like, but that's not by choice, because if he could have his kid full time, he would take him.
Right.
But you're not like, you buy him what he needs when he needs it. If the mom says, hey, you want to go half on something, but you're not scheduling the doctor's appointments. You're not taking the doctor appointments. You're not going to the back to school nights. You only have him. And that's not by choice. It's just that's what it is.
No, and it almost felt like he was using it as like a play, like, oh, you don't consider me a single dad, like you. And like so I told him that you're a single dad. Like,
so I told him, I was like, no, you are the father to your son, and you help raise him, but you're not a single father. You don't have your son all the time.
I think just putting the word full time and it solves all the problems. You guys are splitting hairs for sure.
Like, no, I think you're right.
So my baby's mom has not been involved at all for almost 8 years. At all. Like she's not a part of my son's life at all. So I think we're splitting hairs here. I think the reality is you can be a single parent and you could be a single parent who's doing everything, and that parent that's doing everything should be called a single full-time parent.
I think of all the people that I've ever met in my life, I have only met one other person who, obviously, I don't know what your situation is or what your situation was, but who is a full-time single dad who has like raised his daughter on his own from day one, actually since she was born. He like took her home from the hospital.
Imagine that bitch. I'm glad I don't know that woman.
No, and it was a really ugly like story this person, but you're the second person that I've ever met that's like done that.
That's
like,
crazy because I know a lot of fathers in my life, people that I grew up with, that are raising their kids alone. I know a lot. I know at least 8 men in my life who are raising their kids alone.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, times are changing, man.
Well, yeah, like my
no, this is not. This is Southern California.
Like,
man.
well,
Times are changing.
like I say about my ex, I don't bash him or anything, but like if he had the choice to be a full time and have his kids, he would. But it wasn't like his second son. He fought to have someone, and that was just a battle, And then this one, this last his divorce, and that's how it ended up being. But it's not like it was like he chose to just like my daughter's father. He's just
right.
Like,
well, the court system definitely plays into it, a lot of it sometimes.
So,
but
so I would always been very curious, like about your story. So So like,
Sure.
I know that you had your son on your own podcast and you guys talk about it a little bit
Right.
about how that happened, and obviously we want to be sensitive to your son and
Of
his
course.
story and your story, but I'm very interested to hear like about that.
Yeah, so that's it's a topic that I will talk about a lot of it, but I'm gonna
In sections, in pieces.
no, I'll just be respectful.
No.
Absolutely.
Not, by the way, it has nothing to do with my baby's mama. I do not care about her one bit
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
when it comes to that, but I care about my son,
Son.
Oh, of
and I
course.
care about me being a man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important to be a man today. There's a lot of little whiny bitches out there that cry about things and do whatever else. When I became a full-time single father, I just picked up the reins and did it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what you're supposed to do. And the way I look at that is, hey, let's say you and I, Candace, with that big booty. Let's say I got you pregnant. We had a baby, right? Let's say we had a baby,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And let's say you got hit by a train and died, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to raise that kid no matter what because I'm a fucking man.
Mhm.
That's what men do. That's what humans do. Not just men, but that's what humans do. So for me, I take a huge. Let me say it this way. I hate women are always like, oh my God, Holly, you're attractive because you're a full-time single father and blah,
Oh,
blah,
they're
blah.
attracted to
Yeah,
that.
and I fucking hate that. I absolutely hate that. Actually, that's a big turnoff to me because I'm just
But do you
doing.
understand for
Because you're
women
doing
who
your
have
job.
not had
Yes,
You're doing
I'm
your
doing
job.
what the fuck I'm
You're
supposed to be
do.
doing as a human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't deserve a golden star for that.
Yeah.
You
so
know?
I get what you're saying.
so let me play devil's advocate because I don't know these bitches, right? That you're
Sure.
talking about these
I'm
women,
a lot of
but
bitches too.
but like my ex/baby daddy, he's a really good example, but that has nothing to do with like me anymore, like the way I feel about him or anything like that. But if I meet a guy and he's a good dad, oof, like immediate panty dropper.
Sure.
So maybe that's what they're trying to tell you, because it's true though. That's a big deal. Like for somebody to be a
I
good
see.
dad.
I don't look at it like that. I look at it as like, okay, I see what type of man he is, so that if we have a child, I know like how he's going to be.
So what you're saying is me being a single dad makes your ovaries thump a little bit?
No.
Don't lie, Candace. She lying right now.
No, because you talked about
I'm
like
just
not
kidding.
wanting to have any other kids.
I don't want to have any more kids.
I don't
for
want to
sure.
have any other
Yeah.
kids.
I
that,
still want
that
kids.
doesn't mean that my ovaries aren't thumping.
Damn, with
for
those
you.
hips, you want more kids?
Yeah, I was like,
She's trying to make
Yeah,
these
Candace
hips
wants
fucking.
like 3 more, bro.
She's trying to make
no,
those.
I'm not on.
She's trying to make those hips lie like a motherfucker.
Yeah, no.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but
I can't imagine starting over.
No, fuck
My
that.
daughter's only 11.
My
or about
kid's
to be 11.
17 and a half.
My
Yeah,
daughter
that's
was
like
like
way
12.
starting
I am
over.
not wiping no more booties until it's my parents, and after that, I'm paying to have that shit done. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, like at the end of the day. But back to the single parent topic, because I think that's an important thing, or the whole single dad topic. Like, I really genuinely loathe when people give me credit for that, because
Really?
yeah, absolutely. Because you know what?
Well, 'cause,
sure,
yeah,
it's
like,
a hard job, but it's a
and
job.
most men don't do it. It's mostly women
I think most humans would do it if they had to.
if they had to,
Yeah.
but you don't see it often.
I had to.
So it's more of like, oh, you're doing a good job.
Yeah. I had to. And at the end of the day, I've always been a part of my son's life since he was born. I was there to catch him, out the womb. I've been there to this day, and it's dads don't get enough credit for sure, but I'm also not asking for extra credit, and I fucking hate when people give it to me and be like, oh, you're a full-time single dad. I tell you, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. There's probably like 30 women in my DMs a day who are like, oh my God, it's so attractive that you're a single dad. And I'm like, that's cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm nice about it.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, dude, I'm just doing what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Bitch, wouldn't you be a single mom if you had to? Like,
You
why
have
is that
no
attractive?
choice,
It shouldn't
yeah.
be attractive. Like, this should be a default human thing that you do when your kids need
But
you.
you know what's funny is you only hear women tell men like, "Oh, that's attractive," but you don't ever hear a man say like, "Oh, that's
Oh, I do.
beautiful. It's
So-
attractive
I
that
do.
you're
No.
a single mom."
See,
I do
the
for
other
sure.
thing,
Like
though,
that's a turn on. You know what I
It
mean?
is.
Like,
I
because
do.
I hear guys say
Huh.
that all the time. That they're same thing. They're looking for the wife material, right? They're looking
Yeah.
for mom material, especially if they don't have any kids. They want to see that you have everything, so that not only they want to put a ring on it. They want to make sure you can cook. They want to make sure they can have kids with you too and raise those kids. They want to take
For
you home
sure.
to mama and all that
you
stuff. I
can
think that's
raise
a
your
big
kids
deal.
right. Yeah.
Here's the other thing though. So you said something that kind of sparked the trigger, and we talk about it a little bit. But so I have admittedly like major daddy issues. That's how you know I'm septic.
You don't say.
Major daddy issues.
You don't
So,
say.
But I will say that that's the other thing. That so like you see a man who is doing a good job as a father, whether they're doing it by themselves, full time, whatever. that is a turn on for me. And that's one of the things, the daddy issues, because it's not that my dad was absent, like by force. He was working. He was the only one who was single income family. So he was always at work. So it was like in that sense, it wasn't, he was like a deadbeat or anything like that, but it was like that lack of attention. So when I see a man paying attention to a kid, again, panty dropper. So it's but that's a daddy issue thing.
I think it's largely a woman thing when it comes to guys raising their kids. I think women want to. There's a kind of the nesting factor, you know, like
they take care of their kids.
Yeah.
They're involved.
Mm-hmm.
Where some men aren't involved. It's just like the wife or the girlfriend takes them to practice, takes them to school, back to school night, and they just sit there and pay the bills and go to work.
Right.
So to see a man that's involved, picking up their kids from the ex, you know, and doing things with them and cooking for them, it's, you know, like. For a woman, it's like, okay, he's a good father. Like you see like husband material, just like how a woman sees like, or a man sees wife material.
Right.
I think it's like that for a woman.
For sure. Yeah. 100%. I take, there's two things I take, sort of a position on that I fucking hate. One of them is people saying I deserve a golden star for doing what I'm doing as a parent. Just be a parent. But I also hate the word independent that women use.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about that for a second.
Hit us with it, and then we can comment.
Sure, because I want a woman's perspective on this. But again, and it has to do exactly with what I was just talking about. Like, I think women say they're independent today, and I think that's so silly. Because just because you pay your bills and you take care of your kids and you make dinner, that's not independent to me.
That's life.
That's life. That's called being a fucking human and taking care of your kids. That's my perspective on it, and I get so tired of hearing that because literally my feed, I swear to God, at least 100 times a day on my feed, I'm independent. What? Because you pay bills? I'm sorry, but the reality is, and I'm not gonna use the B word, but the reality is you're doing what the fuck you're supposed to be doing. And you don't get a golden star.
As an adult.
As an adult and somebody who's a human and an adult who has kids, you're doing what the fuck you're supposed to be doing, and you don't get a golden star for that. I'm sorry.
Well, I also think that, like, we talked about this a little bit on our social media episode, that people just flex on the gram about a lot of different things.
Random things.
Money and being independent, being a good
but I
human
think
being.
we're like women.
Just being. Like, just be that.
But I think where women get the whole independent is because nobody's helping them. They're not a two-income
Nobody's
family.
helping me.
I know,
And
but
no one's ever helped me in my entire fucking life.
And nobody's helping me either. But I think where somebody who is married or in a relationship, they're not walking around saying, "Oh, I'm an independent," because it's a like they're paying bills together. You know, they're buying groceries together. They're paying the rent. They're doing things together. Yeah, she's still that woman or that man still works and still pays the bills, whether they pay them separately or not.
Right.
But they're still paying the rent together. Where I think where some women or young women will say, "Oh, I'm independent. You know, I'm 21 and I pay my rent on my own. I pay my bills on my own."
I just think that's one of those things
Beyonce
that, again,
said
like
that.
General,
Independent woman part 1. And she was dancing on the dance floor and shit.
Yeah,
you
there
know?
was a,
and then she went home to her husband and all those bitches are on the dance floor by themselves.
You know, like he spells it out in his rap. So it could go both ways.
Silly.
But my thing is, it's about, like, why are you calling yourself out? Like, I don't understand that. Like, people that, like,
this is a flexing
I'm
thing.
this,
like
I'm that. Like,
that's silly to me as a man. Men don't flex on shit unless they absolutely have to. Yeah, like, so maybe that's my perspective. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think people do it just to, like, it's more of like they want that attention. Yeah. Like they want that like pat on the back, like, oh, you
yeah, why do you need a pat on the back?
Yeah. But I think that goes back to, like, you're not confident about it, because I don't need somebody to tell me that I'm this and I'm that. Hey, you're a square. Hey, you're a circle. No, I just know that I am. Like, I don't need anybody to fucking tell me what I wake up and just, hey, I paid my bill. Hey, I paid my rent, motherfucker. It's like, I pay it every first of the month.
I bought groceries, so I'm independent.
Yeah, like, what the
my
fuck?
car note insurance got him paid. Yeah, like it's
back to my point. I don't need a golden star for doing what the fuck I'm supposed to be doing.
I get it now. It's making a little
you
bit
know
more
what I mean?
sense. About
that's my only point. So when I talk to women, they get really upset when I say that. I'm like, no. What if it's a group of them? If it's one-on-one, women generally 95% of the time.
Well, that's because the woman's going to tell you anything you want to hear. So
you think
but
that?
at the end of the day, like at 18,
stroke your ego.
Yeah, at the end of the day, when you're 18,
wait, you mean one-on-one, or you mean like
one-on-one?
Really?
It's very rare to find a woman that can be 100% transparent with you and tell you like
See,
it is.
so what does that say about women? Women are full of shit.
Oh,
women ain't
this is-
shit.
Women
Let me,
ain't women.
I mean,
Women ain't shit.
I have a handful of friends. I make fun of Candace all the time. I say I'm your only friend, but we don't have a lot of girlfriends because we can't really tolerate other females.
That just blew my mind right now. By the way, I'm sorry.
But that's because we don't deal with the
I
drama.
thought bitches are being serious.
For me, like no for me, it's face value. This is what you're getting. 100% transparency. Like, I would rather somebody not like me for being 100% honest than for somebody to like me for hiding shit.
Right.
Like, that's
Same
never
here.
going to be me. Like, I'm never going to have to remember my lies. I'm never going to have to remember what I told you.
Yeah.
Same
Oh, and
here.
then I'm the screenshot queen. So, like, you want to know what you said October 26th,
She's one of those.
1998?
She's the elephant.
12:31 p.m. I'll tell you.
That's
You're like an
me.
elephant.
Yeah, I never
forget shit.
never delete my like text. I never like because I'm just like, oh, you forgot you said that.
Dude, being in
There
a
it is.
relationship with this one would be terrible.
So, but it only if you're lying. Because if you're not lying, then there's nothing to
What the
fucking
fuck
talk
are you, a
about.
lawyer?
I
She
mean,
might
like,
as well be.
Yeah.
You know.
Mhm.
Jesus
One of my many
Christ.
professions.
Oh my
But
god.
like she tells me, like she'll tell me straight up when I'm telling her stuff. Like, and I'm not like I'm the type that like if I'm going through stuff, I'm gonna tell you the story of what was said, what I said, or how I felt, and she's gonna tell me straight up, like, you know, not what I need to hear, not
Right.
like what she thinks of that person or that person. It's what I need to hear. You know, that's what a real friend does, though.
Yeah.
You know why? Because she's a real
It's
friend.
a real friend, yeah.
Yeah.
A
I'm
real friend is
never
gonna be
gonna
like, fuck
sugarcoat
that,
it.
fuck
Yeah.
that dude, and
That
like,
dude over there will tell me the worst things about myself, and I still love him. He's a good friend, you know.
So
That's-
it's just like,
yeah.
Candace, you don't want to live in a house with mirrors. It's okay. You got one right in front of you, and I'm just going to let you have it. Because I feel
Yeah.
like that's going to bring more value to her life. And I wouldn't expect anything different from her. I want her to be the exact same way. Because there's a lot of females that can dish it, but can't take it. So for me, I ain't even trying to be friends with
and at the end of the
those
day, like,
girls.
even if I didn't listen to her or she didn't listen to me, right? And I come to her, even if I came to her every day with the same bullshit, right?
Mhm.
And she already told me once, so she's just gonna listen. And then when I'm finally like, okay, I'm done, or this didn't work out, and she's gonna be like, I told you, like this, and this, you know, like not bashing that person, but telling me about like myself, what I need to hear,
Right.
you know. And it's only, you know, you can tell, like, I could tell you something and you could tell me till I'm blue in the face, you know, if I'm telling you something about a guy and you're like, oh, well, this is why, you know, like
Right.
from a guy's point of view, whether I want to listen to you or not, it's going to be up to me to eventually, like, have
You
to
don't-
go through it for it
Yeah.
to, like, and you'd be like, well, I told you, but I can't force you. I can only advise
She's
you.
a good friend telling you about your shit and making you recognize it, and then you act on it.
Yeah.
And I say this about a lot of different relationships.
It's not even about, but it's not even about acting on it. It's just about realizing, like,
Yeah, that's what,
Yeah.
sorry, that's
she's
what I
not,
meant
because she's
by
not. It's
that,
not
yeah.
like they're bashing that other person, whether it's
Right.
a friend or whatever situation you're going through.
Right.
They're just letting you know, like,
Yeah, totally. No, I get that. That's
I
cool.
say this about a lot of different relationships that people have. I say it doesn't matter whether it's like romantic, friendship, family, whatever. You don't have to like what I do, but you should respect it.
100%.
And so there's a lot of things that I may not like what Candace does. And if she comes to me with the same bullshit, like she said, I'm still going to be, at the end of the day, I'm still going to love her. I'm still going to support her. And I'm still going to respect her decisions.
And that
even
ass
if
is
it's
still
not what
fat.
I would do.
and she may roll her eyes, and she
We always talk about
And
this
that
fat
ass
ass
is
all
still
day
fat.
long.
and she may roll her eyes when I'm telling her, but and I know looking at her facial expression, it's like, oh, I already told you, you know. But
I think she
and
puts a lot
all she
of
could do
knowledge
is
to
just
you.
listen to me vent, and then it's gonna be up to me.
If I didn't
Eventually.
care, I wouldn't say anything. I'd just be like, okay, bye. Like,
Yeah.
but I do because I care.
I
love
listen
her.
to your podcast, and I can hear her speaking a lot of knowledge to you.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, give it to her.
There's,
You
I
know?
will tell you, there's
And
so
I know
many
you. I know
times-
you receive it respectfully, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like because here's the problem: is you can be good friends with somebody, and they can tell you some shit, and if you don't receive it respectfully, they're probably not a good friend. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like, you receive it respectfully. Like, she tells
Yeah.
you shit in the podcast. I'm like, oh, and I know you're like, oh, all right, bitch, I got it.
There was one
You know,
time,
like, yeah.
I don't even remember what we were talking about now, but
Because
she broke down and cried in front of me, and I think that was the very first time Candace.
Did
had
you ugly
ever-
cry?
No, she's.
Oh.
I'm the ugly cry. I'm the full-on Kim Kardashian ugly meme crier.
Okay,
Like,
Okay, Candace, she's
So
staying out of
bad.
the room tonight. It's you and I. No. I don't need the ugly crying shit going on tonight. Fuck that.
So like she cried, and I was like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like it was so weird. But after I was like, do we pause? Like, do we keep going? And it was something that I said that just hit her, and she was talking about something that was like heavy at the time, and I was like, fuck, Candace. Like I was like, this is crazy. So I mean, and we talk about that, how like we've learned a lot about each other on the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, because like I've talked about like say like in past relationships, and she'll tell me straight up like that's a red flag. And me being me, I always want to see like the good in somebody and give that person the benefit of the doubt.
Even if he's a piece of shit.
You gotta stop doing
and
that.
she's like,
He could walk
that's
up
a
to
red
her
flag.
with a piece of shit T-shirt on, like, "Hey, I'm a piece of shit," and all the fucking reviews on the back, and she'll be like, "Hi, you're cute.
Candace,
Come
you're a
talk to me."
And I
Pretty
want to
girl,
give you the
man. What the
benefit of the
fuck?
doubt that you're not gonna
What's
treat
going
me that
on
way.
here? I'm so confused.
No, it's literally.
I
the
can't find one
worst.
chick to cub with on fucking Thanksgiving, and this bitch over here is fine as fuck. She's got a bunch of fucking toxicos coming into her life.
Dude, it's the worst.
I'm so
okay,
confused.
I said this to her the other day, and I'm just gonna fucking say it on here. And I said, "Candace, what do all these guys have in common?" And she was like, "They're all pieces of shit." And I was like, "No, you."
Yeah,
You know what?
it is.
And she
It's-
was like,
Okay.
"What do
You're
you
right.
mean?" And
Now
was
I
like,
feel
No, like,
attacked.
I knew.
Now I feel attacked because here's the thing.
"What do all these bitches have in
Yes,
common, Javi?"
100%.
You.
So I used to, an uncle of mine, and he'll be on the podcast eventually, but I was talking to him one day a few years back, and he's like, "Hey, so what's going on?" I'm like, no, whatever. I'm just living life. He's like, "Any chick in your life?" I was like, "Yeah, kind of the same kind of shit, bullshit or whatever."
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm like, she's kind of drama. He's like, "Dude, you always fuck with chicks that are full of drama." And I was like, fuck, I think I'm attracted to it. I think I'm
Like she said, like we say, I'm attracted
Yes.
to the shiny red flags.
yes.
And
So-
not that I know I am. I think it's just they will say something, and I sense it like that's a red flag. But I'm
Right.
just like, I'm gonna give them the benefit. Of the
But in my
doubt. Like,
defense, though, in my
Oh, God,
defense,
what? They were hot.
and probably
They
in
had
your
a big
defense
ass.
too, Candace,
what?
is the good pussy bone is attracted to the crazy bone.
No,
It's
no,
attached-
because she fucks
it's
with these
attached-
dudes that have trash dick.
Really?
I'm just gonna say it. Yep,
Wait,
I
you
called out all
okay?
your
Okay, so
exes.
you and I are not on the same league.
No,
Because to
no.
me,
I haven't said all the guys I've messed with, just one, and that was that clown. And I still stuck around because it wasn't the dick that was keeping me. I genuinely was in love with this man and cared about him. And
I'm just saying.
I could, but that's the thing, is that I will never be in love with somebody that ain't fucking me good
Damn.
like that. So that's
Tamiko
the
needs
shit.
good dick in her
No, but
life.
that's the shit that other females will. Oh, it's okay. No, it's not, and you
It's
know it
not
ain't,
okay.
bitch.
Yeah, it's not okay.
Because then what? Then you leave and you go to your friend's house and you talk trash about that dick that you're in a relationship with,
So why
which
do
is
women
also
do
not
that?
good.
but I had never talked about. I had never
will,
talked
nev-
about him
not-
having
not
trash
happening.
dick though, up until we had that
Okay,
podcast.
you're singling a single guy out.
shit's
I'm
getting
not doing
serious
that.
right
I'm
now.
just
Hold
saying, like, you fuck with guys with trash dick. I'm just saying, like, don't do that. So what you're saying is you're fucking with somebody who's laying it down, putting it down on you,
Right.
but she's toxic as fuck.
Yes.
Yes.
So my point is that when it comes
Porque
to
te
women,
gusta la mala vida.
no, I don't fucking hate the mala vida. But the thing about when it comes to women though, like legit, like good sex, most the good sexual partners I've had in my life have been fucking nuts, like absolute nuts. I'm talking like fucking nutty. Like they're fucking a couple fucking bottles of all short of a medicine cabinet. These bitches are crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
daddy issues.
yeah, they're crazy. And the thing is, like, I need that in my life. But how do I find that without being a bitch being crazy? I guess?
Oh, you need. Wait, what do you need in your life?
He needs good
Crazy.
pussy.
Oh, I thought you
Hey,
said
I-
he needed
doesn't
crazy.
come with the
as well.
side
I
of
was like,
crazy.
damn.
Hey,
needs
keep
crazy
it
in his life.
PG, man.
But that's what it is. Let's say what it is. This is what I'm saying about
Yeah.
the transparency. If you're not being transparent,
True, 100%.
I've seen your memes. You keep
Hey.
it that 100.
I keep it 100 all
yeah,
the time.
so let's
Hey,
be 100.
I have to block like 500 people who hate me at least a day, and like another 200 probably fucking block me because they're pissed off at me.
So I
keep
talk
it
about this
real.
on when. So like, okay, so I went through 4 years of being single, and then was
She went through a lot of dick during that period of time.
not a lot, but enough.
But Jesus. See, she could do booty calls. I can't do booty calls.
I'm
but,
just saying.
I had some fuck buddies. They
I
were
can't do fuck
We wanted to
buddies.
do a fuck buddy ain't shit podcast, but then Candace would have no content. So
What you never had a fuck buddy in your life?
I have, but like it was, but you would like. She considered it like
it was a guy
damn
you were
near
in a relationship.
We weren't in a relationship. It was just for 2 years off and on, and we would actually. It wasn't like, hey, come over.
Did you
we
cuddle
knew
with
what
him?
it was. Yeah, and we would go out and do
Okay, so
things.
that's not a fuck buddy because fuck buddies you fuck and you send them home.
And we would go, but
Pow.
I see. She
so
was right
booty
though.
call, because I even had a booty call, right, where we would literally go out to eat, go to a club or a bar, then go back and have sex, and I'd stay the night, cuddle, go home in the morning, or go to.
That's not.
But
That's
I've
not-
never
yeah,
had a.
That's not. Yeah.
But we
you
were
don't
never
even
in
eat
a.
breakfast with the fucking.
But we were
fuck
never
buddy.
in a relationship.
Yeah.
We knew what it was. That was the only person I was sleeping with at that time. But I've never like just like.
That's not a
oh yeah,
fuck
we
buddy.
just come over and we're
What
gonna
you
fuck.
had is
I've
a
never.
dude who was using you for some pussy.
No.
And you thought it was
No.
something more important than that.
No. Because I didn't want anything. I didn't want a relation. No.
Okay.
I didn't want a relationship at the time. So we both knew what it was.
So it was a convenience for both of you, but it was
Yes.
definitely not a fuck buddy though.
Yeah, it wasn't
'Cause you
considered
don't
a
hug-
fuck buddy.
It was
Like you
something
fuck
else.
somebody, you send them home on their way after, like
Like a
fuck
one night
buddies-
stand.
Yeah, like
a one night stand almost.
that's what a fuck buddy is for like 10 months. So in other
Yeah,
words, like they
but-
come over after the club, they fuck you, they take off after the morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
They're gone before the sun comes up, and then
Yes.
you're good. You know
yes,
what I mean?
but I'm just saying, like I've never had that. I've had what I've had, and we both knew what it was. I didn't want
She
anything.
has meaningful
He didn't want
sex.
anything.
I have meaningful sex too with fuck buddies.
But I didn't
What
want.
the fuck?
But they knew.
You can't make love to a rando.
Who's making
But
love
you're not
to a
supposed to be
fuck
making her
buddy?
love, though,
See, this
see?
is where we're all wrong. Who the
Jose
fuck
from
makes
the
love?
IE.
Jose from the
Jose from the IE. Hey, Jose.
She's all giving out. Like,
You're
You,
known
said, you named him Jose.
You
other
named
ways,
him
other ways
with
known
it,
as Jose J.
We called him the active dude. So we'll go with
He
that.
was
So the
actively
active
beating your
dude,
cheeks. Is what he was.
He
doing.
was. And it was good. So what, and we talked
But
about
see,
this on the
she knew
podcast.
what it
This was
was.
the girlfriend experience.
See, she was giving girlfriend experience. I was kind of doing the same thing, but it was with the same person, and we both didn't want a relationship. And I was the one to be like, I don't want anything. Like, just.
So
and
confused.
then he was like, he didn't want anything.
What are you confused about?
I just, man, yeah, women are wild.
Oh yeah, women. The whites are wild. The women are wild. All the W's.
The whites. What do the whites have to do with the women? I'm so confused.
I always say that. I always say the
Because you
whites
get a lot
are
of
wild.
Karens. Have you seen them Karens like on Instagram? Or they're going.
A lot, like 90% of them
I
are
thought
white women.
Oh man, I think I'm gonna be single forever.
And I've dated / fucked a lot of white guys, so I know that white women
She's
are crazy.
dated and fucked a lot of white guys.
Yeah, that's like my thing. Like white guys are my thing.
So Chads are your thing?
Yeah, like Chad and
Chucks.
Jakes and
And
Chucks.
Chucks.
Yeah,
That's wild.
yeah.
I
like
would have
pink
never
dick.
guessed. I thought you did it paisos.
No, just this guy that I'm dating right now is a paisa, but it's the first. Everybody that has met him has been like, Candace. Has been like, what? Like that?
I thought
That
she liked
guy?
old white men.
Again, I'm confused. See, this is why women are like, oh, fucking.
See, like she always jokes that
Okay,
I have a
but-
type, and I don't have a type because when I was dating the 44-year-old, he was Mexican, and she was just like, "What?
It's the one guy.
No,
that she
but he-
dated that
no.
he wasn't like the others.
No," because I dated
what
another one who
what
was
does the
Mexican.
others mean?
She likes black guys
Oh, you
that
like
have
dark meat?
kids
She likes dark meat?
that
I don't
Oh,
have
that's
a
cool.
type.
have
I
a
don't
lot
have
of red flags.
Is
I
that cool? Hey, get yours.
I've dated no because I've dated Mexicans. I've dated.
When's the
black
last time you
guys.
dated Mexican?
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
And how many guys have you dated since then?
2.
Okay.
And
that's
what
good.
were they?
Why are you
Was
making
ha-
her sound
and-
like?
and E
Why are
was
you making
half
her sound
white,
like
half
she
black.
has a like?
Okay, so that's 3 then. You've dated 3 guys since
Well,
that
what-
guy.
No,
Who cares? Like, fucking
because
get
he
yours.
was because that clown was before him.
Oh
Hey,
my
be
God.
nice. This is my podcast. Do not fucking hate on guys here.
Anyways, Candace has a type. I have a type, kind of.
I have a type too. It's called pussy.
Oh, see. Yeah, so. See, that worries me. Because then it's like, I feel like everybody has to kind of have a type, no?
I don't have a type. No, I by the way, I was kidding about the pussy thing.
I don't have a type because I've
I
dated.
don't have a type.
I've dated ugly guys and they. I'm not gonna lie. They
So
were
I have a
ugly.
chance.
They
I have
were
a
ugly.
chance.
Oh my God.
Listen,
Candace says I
listen.
have a chance.
But what got me was hanging out with them after, like, you know, for a long time. Not a long time, but hanging out with them, and it was just their personality that attracted me to them. But off the bat, I'm like, I've known you forever, and I don't think you're attractive.
For the record, I don't have a type.
You don't.
No, I genuinely do not. When people,
You're just attracted to a spectrum of different type of women.
I'm attracted.
Short,
I'm attracted.
tall.
So okay,
No,
so
no, no,
hold
no,
on.
no, none of that. None of that. None of
Tortas.
that. Because this deal, I could find beauty in any woman. To be honest. Wow. Let's be realistic here.
I mean, I'm always realistic.
I have,
you're-
but I think
I can find-
think older white men like Zaddy,
Daddy
like
over
Zaddy,
here. Daddy over here.
right?
He's gonna be on the mic
gray,
soon.
the white and gray beard, the salt and pepper
Scott's
hair.
got a 12-inch
the
dick. You don't even know.
the beard. Jesus.
I'm just saying.
Like I'm
My
attracted to
headphones
that.
fell on
Like,
Just
that.
spread your cheeks good. I'm just saying.
So I don't think I necessarily have a type.
Yeah. So
But-
let me,
I think it's just on who approaches me. It's most like because I don't approach guys.
right.
So when a guy, I've
It's
never
that booty.
approached-
You're always gonna get approached.
So it's who approaches
In
me.
them jeans. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Okay, but let me finish my
Go,
thought.
do
So
it.
so I've never had a type in my life. Like I have been with like huge women,
Mhm.
and I've been with fucking model thin women, and I can find beauty in a human. It's not about me, about like how fucking what they look like. Like to me, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't have a type. Like everyone's
I will
like, "What's
tell
your
you,
type? What's
that's
your type?"
rare,
I'm like,
but
I don't have a
that's
type. I don't
rare.
have a type.
For a man, I have a lot of male friends. I think Candace does also. That's rare because usually either they're not admitting that or that's not them.
Yeah.
They have a type, they have to have, usually you have the guy that needs somebody who's quote unquote pretty, thin, whatever. They can't get past that. For me, it's about
Don't
more
get
than
me
that.
wrong. I've been with some bad women. Like I'm talking like I've been with the fucking baddest of the baddest.
Mhm.
But I also can sit down at dinner with a woman who's maybe not that pretty and have a conversation with her and be
Well,
fine
I
with
just
it.
think
Like,
that
I'm good with
the
it.
pretty thing is only going to get you so far.
Yeah.
if she don't got that guac 2 times 3,000 twist. You know
But
what I
that's
mean?
what I'm saying. Then what? Is she fucking you 24/7? No, you got to be able to talk to the girl.
What happens when you guys get old
Well,
and sex ain't even in
Them
the
big girls
the
be working you
conversation?
24/7. That's not fucking.
I mean, if it
just
was
saying.
up to me, I'd be having sex right now. So
Yeah,
let's
but
be-
think
Yeah.
about it in the long run when you guys are old and retired and sex isn't even like.
what are you talking about? This Viagra? Are you kidding me?
yeah.
Have you read the
But-
have you read the
okay, so when
reports?
you're like
Okay, but this
70
goes
and
back-
80, you
Yes,
plan on
they're
having
still
sex?
fucking the STDs right now, or the largest community of STDs right now, are in older populations.
Yes.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
because they have Viagra and they're fucking everyone and all those fucking dude. Those fucking rest homes are popping,
Oh shit.
and I can't wait to get there because I'm gonna fuck everyone's grandma. I'm gonna fuck
You
everyone's
hear that?
grandma.
All your grandmas are.
problem.
All your grandmas, y'all better
Nobody
watch
is
out.
off the
Ain't no
list.
grandma
If
safe.
you,
Hey,
if you
Candace,
guys have a grandma
when
in
Candace
the
is
same
60, she's gonna
senior
get the shit
citizen
beat out
home
of her.
as this one,
That's like in 5
watch-
years, Javi. Like,
yeah.
don't.
I'm old as fuck, dude. Why you guys are fucked up?
No,
Right.
but so that goes back to what we were talking about. So I think sex for you and I is high on our list, but it's really
Sure.
not on Candace's.
That sucks.
Like it's important, but not as important as other things.
So why
For
why-
me, that's one of the top things. Like I can't get past that for other things. Like I, so,
So
I
if
don't
he
even know
has
if you
great
check off.
dick, right?
Mhm.
Great dick, but he can't really offer you much.
Then I'm not checking that off the box.
So Candace, you could.
So
fuck
you're gonna
with a
keep
guy-
him around?
No,
You're gonna,
no,
oh,
no, no,
You're
no,
gonna
no.
toss him.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you'll be with a guy who has zero dick but takes care of you.
I don't need a guy to take care of me.
Well, I don't mean it like that, but I'm saying like takes care of your needs as far as from a relationship perspective. Like
Mm-hmm.
if a guy had zero dick, like he's got a 2-inch shrimper, and
And
I've
doesn't know
been-
what to do with it.
I've been with little. I'm not gonna because we had that conversation. I've been with little, but it was like probably the best sex I have had.
Because they know what
'Cause
to
he
do
put in
with
knew
it.
what he
effort.
was
Yes.
doing. Yes,
They know what to do.
they
with
know
it.
what to do with it.
right.
And
But that wasn't my question though.
But you
My question was
stop deflecting.
yes.
Candace.
is if he had a little shrimp dick,
No,
as she
no,
Or
no.
likes to
wasn't
call
putting
it.
it? Wasn't
No.
putting the pipe.
Can I ask a
down.
goddamn question,
Sorry.
Tamiko? Jesus Christ. She's sucking up her drink. My question was, could you be with a guy who had everything to offer you, the world to offer you, but could not make you orgasm?
Yes. The reason why I say is
She's a
because
badass bitch, guys. I'm gonna tell you
because
right now.
it's a hard. Well, first of all, like me finishing is hard anyways. So most of the time I don't.
What?
But
We talk about that on our episode too.
yeah,
I missed that one for some reason.
But orgasms are not for me too. It's not
Yeah,
You want to please the guy.
Yeah,
Because pleasing the guy makes you happy.
I can
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
the best sex I've had. I didn't have to come.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
But I think but
And I
everyone
know-
is different.
yeah, and
some
and-
women have to.
and then I've also been in relationships where it's bothered the guy, where he feels like it's him, or he's like bothered.
That's why
Like,
so many women.
And I'm
fake
just
it.
like, okay, well, I don't know what to tell
I
you.
get
It's
that.
not. I don't need it.
All
It
right.
still feels good regardless.
But so if a guy comes to my table and he's great job, great father, great family person, got his shit on lock, has his own home, has a whatever,
2-inch
checks
dick,
all the
though.
boxes, but a 2-inch dick and isn't laying it down, nope, sorry, can't.
You gotta have that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yep. Yeah.
As a man, I gotta have a woman who wants to make me like feel
Yeah.
cochino all the time. That's just
Yeah.
me, though. Yeah, that's the only way I can describe it. All right. Any other questions you have for me? Because I know you have a whole book over there. Yeah.
Well, did we address the big dick thing? Are you good on you got what we were talking about with the big dick? So we both said we are
We're
not size queens.
queens.
Neither of us are.
Well, you guys aren't orgasm queens either, so I wouldn't expect you to be size queens.
That has what the size and the
size doesn't
orgasm
mean
have nothing to do
anything
with each other,
Mhm.
and that worries
That's
me
true.
that you think
That's
it does.
true. No, you're right. You're right. Because I've heard a lot of women who say like, but here's the thing though, too. You guys say that shit for you though, but I'll post some shit on my Instagram and there'll be like thousands of women like, oh, I gotta have a fucking soda can dick.
Oh,
I'm
but
like,
that's
damn,
a
that's
lot
crazy.
of women. I think
Yeah.
a lot of women
There's a lot of size queens.
need. a
I've
big
been
dick,
with
or they
somebody
say
who's
that.
had a huge porno, and that's uncomfortable.
Right.
Where I'm like,
Mhm.
like
You know what I'm like? I'm not trying to throw a tic tac down the fucking hallway. I mean, this is crazy.
Do
Like,
your Kegels. I'm doing mine right now.
yeah.
yeah,
Women. Sorry, that was for women. If you don't know what a Kegel,
Kegel
is,
is.
then
Tamiko's fucking popping that pussy right now on the
like
podcast.
we had that conversation where I was like, I feel like I'm like little inside because I feel like it's just like a
Are
like,
you-
made me
pocket
laugh
size,
on
like,
our podcast, and it makes me laugh right now.
Are you saying your vagina is the
Candace-
size of a
Candace-
podcast?
like it's just like a like
I'm so confused.
because
Candace says she has a little
it's
pussy.
inside is like small and compact because I feel
So
like
she doesn't really need a big dick, because it's so little.
Oh, it's so little. They all say that though. By the way, all women are like, my pussy's the best. It never smells.
I've never
it's
said
so
that.
small. I'm like,
Yeah.
bitch, every pussy smells. Every pussy can be gaping. You have kids, for Christ's sake. The watermelon comes out of that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Come on. All these women, I swear to God, all these women love to say their pussy is the best pussy in the world.
I
I'm
don't
like,
talk
stop
about
that
my-
shit.
I don't talk about
I
my
don't-
stuff like that.
I don't say it.
You
because
both laughed at that, by the way.
but because
Huh?
it's funny, because we know so many women that do that also.
No,
That's
and the
why.
reason why I
Yeah.
say like I feel like it's like because I feel like I've had big and I've had like average, and at times I'm like I even feel like average is too big, and I'm like whoa, like it's uncomfortable.
So, guys, for the record,
Candace has a little
Candace
pussy.
has a really good pussy.
Stupid.
No,
I
little.
was
It's
gonna
just
say,
little.
not even little, she's good pussy. Because if she only needs like a 4.5, 5 incher, dude, she's
That's
fucking
average.
good. The average dick for her is good. That's awesome. Because a lot of guys are like, I don't have enough. I'm like, bro, Candace got it.
So we talked about this on our podcast. I was with somebody. It was one of my fuck buddies, and it was like whatever. Anyways, so I was going down on him, and he was like, oh, it's not like you're gonna choke on it. And I was like, why did you say that? Like, that's a weird. And he's like, well,
He's
some
outing
girl-
himself before
because
he could.
some girl,
That fool was insecure as fuck.
dude, one girl of all the girls he had fucked with had told him that he had a small dick,
Oh, yeah.
and that was it. Like, that was enough
That's
for
pretty
him
fucked
to.
up.
No, that's why I said, like, these women, they don't know what they're fucking saying.
But that's
And-
just like
But
a
wait,
guy, that's like
could-
dating
but-
a guy and then him being like, "Oh, you ugly fucking bitch." Like, oh, what? Because I wouldn't smash.
But
now
wait,
in
could
her,
you
know?
could you actually have choked on it?
Yeah, it wasn't small. It wasn't. So what did we say? It wasn't less than 4, but it wasn't bigger than 6.
Three
It was
inch
average.
choker.
No, it was average. I mean, first of all, I can pretend to choke on
First
anything.
of all, I
This
can't
guy's
even brush
probably
my
listening to
teeth without
this
gagging.
podcast.
Okay, so
This guy's probably listening to this podcast.
probably
So,
does.
hey, bro, your 3.5 incher choked her, bro. It's
Shout
all
out to
good.
my E.
Shout out to
my E.
My E. Oh, shit. That's Mikey. Mikey out there. Bro, you could have choked her, bro. You fucked it up.
No, but I'm saying, like, it was just really weird that he said that, because he used to put it down. I mean, I've said this also. Like, if I slept with a guy and it wasn't good, I'm not going to go back.
Sure.
Like, I'm not going to, hey, let me try that again.
I
No,
don't
that's
know.
not happening.
I've gone back for a second just to figure it out.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
but if you think about
okay,
it,
but
I
I
think
would never let a guy hit it twice. if it
so.
wasn't
I
good the
think
first
that
time.
when
Hey, you
people
guys are
have
some
sex for the
cochinas.
first,
We were supposed to
no,
have a podcast. We're talking about cochinados.
but I think when people have sex for
I'm
the first
always
time, it's
talking
always.
about
I think
cochinada.
it's kind of awkward unless you're just very, very like sexual and
But
just
again,
comfortable.
I was
with,
talking
like,
about a fuck buddy. So if you can't get it right the first time, it's the next one in line. I'm not gonna let that
See,
same
she's like
guy.
a homie. Tamika's like a homie.
the homie.
Yeah.
The homie.
No, and this guy to this day, we are still friends.
Oh, okay.
But you got a little dick, bro.
No, he doesn't. No, the other girl said he did. I didn't.
Oh,
I told you it was between 4 to
you
6.
told me
so
the
it's
size of
average.
it. That's
He was average.
I was average.
Technically, he's average.
Between 4
if
to
you're
6
4,
inches.
that's a little dick.
no,
between
but she
4 and 6
she's saying
inches.
average is between 4 and 6. So she's not saying what
And
size
for
he
me-
is.
But
She's
she
just
made
saying
it
he's
sound like he was
average.
little
No,
early
no, no,
on.
he wasn't. No,
she's
that
just-
other girl
said he was
That
little.
other girl made him insecure about his dick.
You got a little dick, bro.
Jesus.
such an asshole.
I'm just saying.
Damn.
Hey, but it's cool, man. It's cool. You know what I mean? I'm bringing my dick to the table,
He said,
Put it out on the table again, Javi.
and it's probably good. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there. But
Is there anything from our episodes that you heard that you want to talk about with us?
oh, you know, there was a couple of topics actually. There was you guys were talking about like court systems and baby daddies
Okay.
and kind of like custody and all those things and child support
Mm-hmm.
and those things. And I thought that was kind of a fucked up discussion without having a man's point of view.
So I really can't say much about it because the only court system I have ever gone through in relation to custody was in the state of California. You cannot file for divorce unless you deal with your, I'm sorry, you cannot, until you deal with your custody issue.
Right.
Like you have to decide one, that if you're married and you have a child, you have to do both together. You can't do one or the other.
Right.
So I had to get divorced to figure out my custody issue.
Mhm.
So that kind of forced me, but I don't even think I talked about it on the podcast. So it must have been Candace, but you definitely had
I don't
experience
have
with the whole
custody.
child support stuff.
I don't have, there is no custody.
Written custody.
I thought you guys talked about like custody and child support
We
and
talked-
fools not taking care of their kids and that kind of shit.
I try to go with child support outside of the court system. I tried that.
Mhm.
And that's why you keep fucking up. You keep fucking these fools and give them too much leeway. See, Candace has a.
I just think it's
Evolving.
clean
And I
to
just
get it
wanted
in
him.
writing.
I just wanted, like, at the
Giving
time.
him the benefit of the doubt.
At the
Yes,
time, well,
too
he had a
much.
good job. He was full time at UPS, and he made good money.
Did he pay child support though?
Well, so we didn't go to the court system. He's like, I was like, I need help, and he was like, all right, well, let's not go through the court system. Just give me a number what you want every month, and we'll do it. And I said, okay. At the time, I was just like, well, I don't really need much for her other than just help with formula and diapers. I was like, just give me 200, and he was like, oh, that's cool.
200.
200.
How long did that last?
Didn't even last the first.
Christ.
It didn't even last.
I fucking hate my life right now. Wait till you hear my story.
It didn't even last the first month because the first month came and he was like, here's 180. He's like, I'm 20 short. I'll give it to you
This
next.
is the story I heard.
Yeah. So then the following month, it was like another, it was like 40 short on top of the 20 he owed. And then it was like the following month. And it was like, to the point where I was just like, you know what, forget it. So I let it go. Then finally it got to the point where here I am. I realized like he hadn't been paying child support. He had all, like, I let him take her whenever he wanted to take her, whatever weekends he wanted her. And stuff like that. And then it got to the point where I was realizing me being absent was affecting my daughter because I was working 7 days a week and because I was working 2 jobs. So I was like, I need help.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up going to court, filing. He cussed me out.
Ooh.
And he's like, why can't I was like, we tried this like 5 years ago. It didn't work. So
Right.
I already now I know it's not going to work. So I went and
I feel like it's
they
such
were
a stigma that
he
the
ended up
woman is the bitch in that situation a lot.
No, they are though. And I'm giving you,
And
in
I'm
a
giving
lot
you-
of situations.
I'm
And
giving
he
you
ended
in
up-
a lot of situations. I'm gonna give you my perspective in a minute.
Okay.
and
for
then
sure.
he ended up we go right, and the amount they were going to give me was so what he ended up doing purposely was going on disability. Yeah, so it was stress like he went on
Sure.
stress leave is what he went on.
Wait
Not
till you
even
hear my
like
story.
not even that he got hurt, right?
I feel you.
So so him being on disability, they were going to give me almost 7 something a month on disability. So he knew that when he went back to work, it was going to go up, right?
Right.
So we go to court and he's fighting it and he's just like, well, my checks they're not consistent. It's this much on this one on this one. So they did an average. And then they ended up knocking it down to, it was like 400, almost 400, right? On disability. Then he ended up quitting his job. So then it was accumulating. Then he took me back to court to get it to 0. And they told me up front, do you want to go, do you want to, we could keep it at 0, or we could go see the judge and they'll put him on minimum wage at 40 hours a week and give you the average. And at the time I was like, well, I told the lady, I was like, well, I'm getting money now, so it's not going to make a difference whether we go and he gives me minimum wage at $40 an hour or at 40, at minimum wage at 40
like
hours.
It's fucking $200 a month or something stupid.
Yeah, but it's just going to accumulate on the back end. I was like, so I was just like, you know what? Go ahead, keep it at 0. And some women are like, what? Why would you do that? Like, you should have just.
It's not worth the headache.
It's not. And I was like, first of all, I was like, I'm missing work right now just to be here. That affects my paycheck, which means that affects what I can and can't do. Now I have to, in my head, I have to figure out like, okay, maybe I could do overtime on this job to make up for the day that I missed to come to court here. So I was already stressed on that, just missing a day from work, just to be there. So I was like, you know what? I'd rather leave. I can go back. I can try to go back to work right now, So she was like, okay. Because at that point, they had already taken away his license because he hadn't been paying. So then you would think he'd be grateful, right? So then one day I picked up my daughter and she had diamond earrings on. And I was like, oh, your dad got a job? Yeah, my dad bought them. Oh, your dad got a job. So I was like,
they probably weren't diamonds. You probably bought them.
No, they were diamonds. I let it go. Then months later, he bought her a Nintendo Switch. And he tried to tell, his mom tried to tell my mom that it was him and his mom bought it together. And I was like, Mom, he got a job. And she was like, no, but I'm like, Mom, you're giving him the benefit of the doubt. He got a job. And so she was just like, well, And so then I ended up taking him back to court. I take him back to court, and what does he do? He calls me to cuss me out. So we go to court, and they end up only giving me it's less than $300 a month. Which now the job I have, I don't need the money. I don't. But at the time, I did. I was still struggling. But now, if the situation were to come now, I wouldn't even bother with child support.
Yeah, child support is ugly. Let me give my story.
Of a headache.
And the thing is to cause such a to be so disrespectful, and then I allow you to see her and pick her up when you want, and you can come take her when you want. That's not an issue. That eventually became an issue when he was it became an issue at one point when he was unstable. He wasn't stable. So he had lost his job at one point. He was homeless for a year. So that's when I was he had told me he was homeless, and I was like, look, you can come see her if you want. And at that point, once he ended up living with his mom, I still didn't let him take her. He could come visit her whenever he wanted to. But you can come whenever you want.
Sure.
I'm not going to stop you from seeing her however many days a week you want to see her, or however long you want to see her when you're here visiting. So it wasn't up until a couple of years ago when I was like, all right, go ahead, you can take her.
Let me tell you my story. I'm going to make your story look really silly.
That's not hard.
Yeah. When early on in my son's life, from the beginning to now, I made his mom a guy. It's so fucking, it's crazy. By the way, everyone who's dealing with kids and custody and any of that stuff, or you plan on leaving a parent, or plan on leaving somebody who you have a kid with or whatever, know your laws, because the laws are really fucked up. Mm-hmm. And I wish I can talk to more single fathers so they know what they can or can't do and what's really going to affect them. And it's really important because a lot of these women, and I'm going to be honest right now, and I'm going to say some shit about women right now, they've been educated by their moms, their tias, their whatever, about how the system works, and they know how the fuck it works, but a lot of men don't know that, and I didn't know that. And so early on in my son's life, my baby's mama, when she was pregnant, had gotten sick. And she went to the doctor, whatever else. But because she was pregnant with my kid, she used Medicare, whatever. And so she got sick, went to the doctor, whatever else. And 4 or 5 years later, I got a bill in the mail saying, hey, you owe this money for this thing. And I was like, what the fuck? And it just destroyed my credit because it's a government lien from the government. Mm. So anytime you have a lien from the government on you, it's the worst thing on your credit because it never goes away. Everything in your credit goes away but a judgment from the government. Oh my God. But so it stays on you.
But Medi-Cal, I thought Medi-Cal.
I don't know how it works.
I didn't know you would have to pay back Medi-Cal.
She went, yes. They go after the father of the child.
Yes. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. Did you have any custody child support?
She was still pregnant.
Oh.
That's my point. So what I'm saying is what happens is when the state finds out that years down the road that now I'm the father's child, they came back after me because saying, now you've been pronounced or not pronounced, but you've been, what's the word I'm looking for? The court system finds a way to say, you've been named as the father of this child, basically. Now we can go all the way back through all the payments that just been made from the government to this woman.
From the birth of the child?
Yes. And so they sent me a bill for like $3,000 for she went to the doctor when she was pregnant and she was sick with a cold. This bill immediately hit my bank. It immediately hit my credit. Has a judgment and a lien from the government because I didn't pay for that back then. So here's the thing. Everything is backdated when it comes to the government and child support. Yeah. This is one thing I want to talk about. It's really important. And I wish men will listen to this. This is affecting me.
But I'm
fucked up my credit for years.
I'm just wondering how that works when, like, so I had Medi-Cal or whatever they call it, IEHP.
Paternalship is what they call it. Well, it's paternity. But I
still had a job, right? Then later on, he because when you go on child support, they automatically make you take a DNA test to make sure that's
paternity ship. That's what I'm calling about. But that's what I'm talking about, actually.
But like, I'm surprised that they don't come after me because I still financially have a job to pay, even though I don't make enough that the state is like, okay, you still qualify under this, that we could put you and your child under.
The system is shaded. Let me finish my story. Hold on, let me finish my story. Don't throw me off thought here.
Okay, go ahead.
This is an important thing. So, paternity. Once paternity was established, like 3 or 4 years down the road, because she put me on child support, 3 or 4 years down the road, they're like, oh, well, back in the day, she went to the doctor and Medicare paid that out for her or whatever. So now you're liable for those charges.
Oh my God!
So
I've never heard anybody say that.
There was $3,000 or $4,000, and it fucked up my credit immediately. Like my credit.
They don't even give you like the option to like pay it off.
It's a paternity for 4 years of your credit not paying the $3,000 bill, and it's a government lien.
That's crazy. They don't even give you like a 30-day like notice, like, hey, you got 30 days to pay this $3,000.
It was fucking horrible. It fucked up. It fucked up my entire life. So I was like, oh shit. So I started paying it back. Back then I was making like maybe like $15 an hour or something. So I'm paying back everything I can. I'm living on my own already. Okay. So fast forward years after that, okay? Now, after my son was 2 years old, I had 50-50 custody of my son, 50-50, okay? She went on her life. She ended up dating some people.
I know, I caught that real quick.
hashtag people, okay? And then, so those people were not happy about what she was doing, dating, when they were dating. So then she puts me back on child support. So here's the thing. Once you have a case on child support, whether it started the day your son was born until your son's fucking 40 years old, that case is there. It never goes away.
Never goes away.
So here's the thing. So then she goes, okay, I'm going to put him on child support. So my son was probably like 4 or 5 years old. And she put me on child support. So I go to court, whatever, $750 a month for child support. I had 50-50 custody of my son. And the judge looked at me and said, you still have to pay for insurance, any extracurricular activities. That's soccer, that's fucking karate, taekwondo.
And medical.
You have to pay for everything, medical insurance, all this shit. You have to do it, and you're the father, and you have to do it. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll pay for that, whatever. So not only was I paying $750 a month after taxes out of my own paycheck, I'm throwing like another $400 a month after taxes on additional shit for like taekwondo, soccer, all this other shit, right? So let's call it $1,000 a month, okay? This went on for years. In that amount of time, she's entertaining her man, paying for fucking rent, all this crazy shit. She's living her best fucking life, right? Years down the road, I paid fucking thousands and thousands of dollars in child. I funded everything, and I fucking the lifestyle, for Christ's sake.
So what happens now that you?
Let me finish. Okay. Hold on, Candace. Let me finish. Jesus Christ!
On it.
I'm like, wait, I want
to take a drink after this. I need a drink for this one. Hold on.
I'm like on the edge of this story.
Hold on, I'm not done yet because it gets worse. Hold on.
I've just never heard of paying.
Because real motherfucking fathers pay the price in this fucking system. Yeesh. And women fucking abuse it, and they abuse it over and over again. And I don't give a fuck what they say. When they say it's equal, it's not fucking equal. And you're gonna hear it right now.
It's not.
So check this out. So then years down the road, I get full custody of my son. Okay? Now I get full custody.
Years and years of paying that.
I get full custody of my son. I go to court, and they're like, okay, cool. Check this shit out. This is the craziest fucking thing of all.
They didn't drop child support, did they?
Child support continues because the court case is still on file. Oh, before we even get there, hold on. Before we even get to the point where I get custody, there was a period of years that my baby's mom and I were cool. We were cool, okay? We were okay. We worked things out. We're like, okay, cool, whatever. You're doing your thing. I'm doing my thing. It's cool. She got mad at me again because she's hanging out with another man, homie, pretty much.
A friend of yours?
Yes, twice, two of them. Not one, but two of them. That one with two of them for years. This went on for years. So okay, so check this out. So this fool gets really upset about it, whatever, puts it in her mind, you need to take this fool back to child support, whatever.
When you have full custody.
No, we have 50-50.
Oh,
So,
okay.
50-50.
So imagine from like 2 until 10 is 50-50 custody situation. But there was a period of time where I just paid child support. I didn't give a fuck. I was dealing with it, right? 50-50 custody, by the way. I'm paying that much money in child support, and I'm paying $1,000 a month, basically.
I seriously, like, that's where I tell guys, like, you need to get a lawyer. Like,
No,
even if
I had lawyers. I spent $60,000 in lawyers over the years.
Are you serious?
It don't matter. The court system's fucked up. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So between 2 and like 5, it was cool. Between 5 and 10, it wasn't cool because she started fucking with dudes that whatever, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, what happened is, so when I tell you when there's a court case on file, men need to understand something, and women too nowadays, because women are grimy as fuck. But women need to understand something. They're grimy as fuck today. They need to understand something, because if you're grimy, you don't take care of your kids, this is gonna happen to you too. Once a court case is on file, it never turns off. So my baby's mom, like between the age of like 5 and like 7, was like, "Oh, it's cool. I'm gonna turn it off. Like, we're cool. We're good now. I'm gonna child support." So we went to court together, laughed, sat there, bullshitted, whatever. Oh, we're all good. Turned off child support. 2 or 3 years later, she got mad at me. Turns it back on, and it backdates it.
Back child support.
Because it's from the minute you have a court case, it never fucking ends. So now I owe thousands of dollars again, and it fucks up my credit again. And it fucks up my credit royally for years. To this day, it's still on my credit. So I remember going to her after all that shit, after like 2 or 3 years of dealing with that. Now I'm back paying, I'm still paying $70 a month, but now it's backdated and I'm fucked.
Because you're accumulating interest.
Yes. Too. And it's backdated immediately. And I'm like, and I'm backdated thousands of dollars, and she's don't care.
Oh, because she wants that money.
Now that you have full custody,
I'm going to get there.
Okay.
I'm going to get there. Okay. So this happens to this point, right? So I'm like, fuck, dude, I owe this money now. I'm fucked. My credit's fucked. This is not cool. I'm like, but I'm going to pay it off. I'm going to get caught up. So I pay it off. I get caught up. And there was a point in my life where, if you know me as a man, I never ask for anything from anybody, not even my own fucking family. Like, I don't, if I ask you for something, it takes a lot of me as a person and as a human to say, I need this from you. Please help me, you know? Mm-hmm. And I went to my baby's mom one night, really drunk, like on a Christmas night. And I said, look, man, the money I give you is like $750 a month. Like, that's the extra money I have at the end of the month that I can do something with my kid with.
Yeah.
I could buy a house. I could do something. I make good money. I could do something, but you're taking all that. And I hope you understand that, like, at the end of the day, like, this, for my kid's life, like, this is for our child. Like, I could fucking give him something with this.
I could take him to Disneyland.
Help me out a little bit. I said, I'm not saying turn it all off, but, and I'm even choking thinking about it, but help me out a little bit. Like, just a little bit. She said, fuck you. I said, all right, cool. And I've never, ever swallowed my pride like that ever in my entire fucking life. Ever in my entire life. But this is what goes on in men's life every fucking day in this country.
Yeah.
Every fucking day. And so, for all you guys out there that are suffering, man, I fucking love you, bros. Stay up, King, and keep it going, because it will work out eventually. So let me finish my story. So after all that shit happened, then eventually my baby's mom makes a really bad mistake in her life. Horrible mistake. And I won't talk about it on this podcast because it's a very personal thing, and I won't cross that line with my son. I love my son. I'm gonna leave it at that. But she makes a terrible mistake, and I get full custody. And so, I go to the whole juvenile court. It's like a whole legal thing.
Yeah.
I get full custody, and then I go to child support. I said, "Hey, I need to turn this off." And they're like, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "I got full custody now." Okay, cool. Here, you got to file this thing and this thing and this thing, go to the courthouse, blah, blah, blah. And then 3 months down the road, you turn on child support. I said, 3 months down the road, That's $2,700 of fucking money.
I'm surprised
3 months on the road.
I'm surprised it doesn't even start like how child support. At the day you file it is
No.
when child support stops. Which
So
that's
I had
wrong
full
that it
custody.
doesn't stop when you file that day.
I had full custody of my son for 3 months before I stopped paying fucking child support.
Oh
That
my
sucks.
god.
3 months. So that's $750 a month. That's what? Fucking $1,500. Go on. It's like fucking over $2,000,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like, Jesus Christ, are you kidding me? And then the minute I go to court, they go, yeah, it's cool. It's fine, whatever. And then I go back to court to finalizing with my situation, my custody, whatever. And there was a bunch of fucking women attorneys there. And the first thing they tell me, and I remember being so repulsed and just disgusted with it. They were like, "Hey, are you gonna ask her for child support? Because you should." And I was like, "You're the wrong person to be doing this job." And I told her that flat out. Well, I'm just trying to help you get money. I was like, I don't give a fuck about money. What I care about is my son's health and raising him. I don't fucking care about her money. And she's like, "Hey, you need to sit down in this room right now." I was like, "What the fuck do you mean?" So I go sit down in a room, and there's like 3 women lawyers, and they're going, "Yeah, well, you should, and you should do this, and you should do that." And this is what I think women fucking do in the court system. It's fucking was disgusting to me. It was disgusting. I was like, at the end of the day, I literally gave him, I was like, well, put her on child support.
You told her? You told them?
Because they like talked me into it. They badgered it into my fucking mind. They literally said there was 3 women yelling at me. Well, you know what? Blah, blah. I'm like, dude, I don't. And I kept telling them, I don't want to do it. I don't care. I just want to raise my kid. I don't care. I just want to raise my
Note
kid.
to self,
I
ladies,
don't
if
care.
you ever want Javi to do something, just get 3 women to start yelling.
Yeah,
They'll just do
throw your
it.
panties at me. It's good. So like they're yelling at me, and I'm like, fucking fine, whatever. Okay. So then child support calls me a week later. We're like, "Hey, this is the ruling. We went to court, and this is what you get." And I was like, "Well, what am I going to get?" They're like,
$25?
"No, it's crazy." But here's the thing, though. Consider how much I was paying at 50-50, meaning I had my son a week on, a week off. I was paying $750 a month after taxes, week on, week off. Okay. They come back and say, your baby's mama has 0 custody, physical. She has 0 custody. Legally, she has 0 custody. She's got to pay $400 and some a month.
But
It's based off her income.
Yeah.
Well, it was based off my income too.
Yeah, but she probably makes less than you.
She was making less than me when I was paying her that money. Think about it. For the years up until that point,
Yeah, 'cause
we were
you
making
were-
the same income.
Yeah, so you just said something but
No.
didn't catch what you said. So,
Yes.
okay, so we said this on our episode when we were talking about it, is about, I say this about when people get married or people have kids, you need to know, especially living in California, if any of you live in California like us, you need to know your custody and your marriage laws because
Right.
California is very different than a lot of other states.
Fuck yeah.
And it's very messy. So, no, educate yourself on that shit because it does get crazy. And so what you were just saying right now, like it's based on your income and her income. So you could, even though you have 100% custody now, or like when that started, it was dependent on that day,
Yes.
how
When
much you made
Yes,
versus
because you
how
know what
much
she
made.
did? She
Well,
went
she
on.
lied about
she,
it,
No,
for
she
sure.
went on fucking welfare.
Yeah.
And to this day, she's still on welfare. So to this day, guess what she pays me? I get
Girl.
$13.55 every 2 weeks.
Big money. Can you make it rain with that? Okay, so the one thing I will say about that, because I don't know a lot about, because again, I didn't deal with that with my ex and our daughter, but women are the most vindictive creatures on this planet. I will tell you right now, a lot of women will not admit this.
Yeah.
If I want something and I want it bad enough, everything goes out the fucking window.
Sure.
Everything. My morals, everything goes out the
And that's
fucking
gross
window.
to me. I don't understand that. As a man, I don't understand that. I'm trying
Because
to.
I think that
That's
we're
just a lot of
it's
women.
God's
Just
fault.
like women are
vindictive by
wi-
nature.
It's just like women are. I think they're petty. It's
Right.
just they're just
By
that's
nature.
by nature.
So you have to fight against that. It's like an uphill battle almost. And a lot of women won't admit that. And that's why a lot of women deal with these demons and they put all that shit into their friendships, into their family relationships, into their romantic relationships. And the shit end of the
Excuse me.
stick is men.
I thought it was her.
That was me. I burped out my expense. Hashtag oops.
The shit end of the stick is a lot of these men. So the hurt that men are putting on women as to why they act this way, they put it back and then it hurts. It's a fucking cycle. That's why you gotta deal with your shit and,
that's why,
not
like,
put it on.
But
especially
I
like
think
guys,
a lot
like
of men.
those
I
guys
think a
who-
lot of men just deal with shit though. Like I just doubt
Oh,
with
there are
shit.
a lot because let's go back to that stigma. You're very big on the like the men are pussies now and blah blah blah, wearing tight jeans and all this shit.
Yeah.
I get that, but that's because it's such a culture that, oh, you're a man, don't talk about it. You're a man. We
That's
don't bitch
different,
about
though. That's
things.
different. Like,
You're
so
a man.
That's
No.
different, though.
How about, keep your head up, King.
So
You're dealing
mental
with
health-
these crazy ass bitches too.
I think you need to separate those kind of things. There's kind of layers to that. So being a man, again, back to the point of me just doing what I'm supposed to be doing as a man, raising a son by myself, that kind of thing, those kinds of things, that really is one layer of it.
Right.
But being a bitch and being a sis and all that kind of shit, that's another layer of it to me. So I think like you can totally be a man and still not be a bitch in a lot of other areas. Like in other words, there's too many girly men these days. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Men
Like,
be in their feelings.
yeah, there's fucking way too many sissy men these days.
Then there's men
then
that
you got men who are
portray
petty,
being
who are
men, but then they're
100%.
little
Petty.
bitches on the side.
You
Like
got-
in
Those
the,
aren't men though.
no.
you got-
I'm just saying again because they're flexing. They're doing this for their friends, for their families. But when they go home at night, the girl that deals with them, they're being a little bitch to them. You know
True.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that. I just think that's why like the number one thing is like you could ask for a lot of different things, but the number one quality for me is loyalty.
Yeah.
To find somebody who's
That's
fucking
loyal.
loyal
I've been
to
saying
you.
that.
It's hard.
This
So
goes back to
Candace,
my
are those butt
obsession
cheeks
with
loyal?
gangster
Are those
movies.
butt cheeks loyal? I need to know.
My
I've
obsession
never
with
cheated on a
gangster
man.
movies and like I am like that whole fucking like mobster mentality. Like
Yeah.
you got to be loyal. Like find
100%.
somebody who's loyal to you. That's different than being honest.
You
That's
know what's
different
crazy?
than being.
That's an old school value.
It is.
It
Oh,
is.
but total old school. We talked a little bit about how both
But women
Candace
hate
and I
old
are-
school values though.
No. Don't say women.
Okay, a lot of women
Most
hate old school
women,
values.
yeah.
A lot. Okay, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. Let me take that back. A lot of women these days are living their best life, whatever that means.
Yeah.
It just means they're being wild and whatever else.
Well, because
right?
they have fucking Cardi B. We've gotten into this fucking telling them, I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me show you how I got this ring.
Yeah.
Bitch, suck a dick until what? How many marriages? No,
Right.
that's not gonna
And that
pay
fool
for
cheated on her
shit.
and left her. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's
I'm
cheated
out.
on her multiple times, but
Yeah.
like
Like,
It's
he
about
didn't
more
leave her,
than
right?
that.
Are they still together?
no,
They
she
got
left.
back. She
I
filed
thought
for
she-
divorce and they got back. Like a
But
week.
he-
So,
but
so
he's
she's
been
talking all that
cheating.
shit. She went back to him
Exactly.
after he cheated
Well,
on her.
that's why it's like it's so fake.
Can't we all just get along? Can I just be like, hey, let's just have a little Mormon marriage?
All
the three of us.
Yeah,
He wants a throuple.
We're gonna have a throuple, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, no, I'm just kidding. But at the end of the day, like, can't we just all get along? And just
I'm
be
too
like,
selfish to be in a throuple.
Yeah, I could
yeah,
never.
me too.
I couldn't even do a threesome.
I could come on both of you. I'm just saying. I was
I'm
only
done.
kidding. I was only kidding. It was a joke. Jesus Christ, everybody. It's a
I'm
joke.
laughing. That's
I love these girls. These girls are fucking awesome. I appreciate
But that's
you.
so I will tell you. So like you were talking about that, and that was like heavy. Like for me to be speechless on a lot of things, that's crazy because I never shut the fuck up, right?
Yeah.
But that was crazy. There's so since I've known you, and I've a little bit like you have given like tidbits of your story, and then when you like recorded with your son, like that was a lot that you just kind of like opened that window into your life. So I was like super curious, like I want to know more. I want to know more. So like for you to just like open up like that, like that's crazy to me. Like
I'm probably going to pay for this from a lawyer at some point in my life. But at the end of the day, man, it's fucked up.
But
I'm
not
going to say
even
this.
because it's all
It's
to
real,
the
it's
public.
public, yeah.
Like, it's public knowledge.
The reality is,
My mom used to work for the court, so she used to tell me even like going through custody, like so I would always tell my guy friends, every time you pick up your child, you the day you write on a calendar, get a calendar, the exact time you show up at the house to pick up the kid to the date that you drop your kid off. The time you drop, because when you go to court with just the notes and you go to the judge sees it, because a lot of women will say, oh, I have my child 90% of the time, and he's like, no, I pick him up every other.
Right.
Well, where's the proof?
right.
So when guys show up to court with like their
have
calendar,
that
like,
information,
and the
yeah.
mom doesn't, well, okay, well he's got it. He's written it down
yeah.
every date that he's the time picked up and the time dropped off. I mean, it's my mom says it. So my mom used to tell me like, you need to do that. I'm like,
That was such a
I'm-
big
Yeah,
reason
sure.
why we even started our podcast, because like we started seeing, so again, we're always talking shit, but we started seeing all these memes, like especially last year was such a big thing, like 2019, 2020, about these memes coming out about like, oh, bitches ain't shit, niggas ain't shit, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And for us, we were like, that's why we named our podcast what we named it. Cause it was just like, everybody's always saying that this topic or this person, this type, whatever, that ain't shit. So for us, it was just like, we're going to take a topic every time and just talk about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And bring light to it. Cause it's not, that doesn't mean that all women are like that. All men are like that. All boyfriends are like
That's
that.
really
all
important to
girlfriends are
point
like
out.
that.
That's
All
really important to
mothers, all
point out.
fathers, like so many different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's super fun that now we finally have the male perspective to a lot of what we've been talking about.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it that not all women are bad. They're not.
Yeah, no.
Because
But a lot of you are. You need
Yes.
counseling.
a lot of these toxicas for sure need counseling.
Why is it like a thing? We talked
And
about that on
it's
our
crazy
episode,
that like
it's
women
a
will just
thing
be
now
like
to be a toxic
like
girlfriend.
yeah, and they don't. They're
But you know
just
what
out there like that's what it is. Like you signed up for this. No, like it's like
Yeah.
calm down. Like
I think
That's
women
something to be
know,
proud of.
even past generations. Like I think women know that their emotions are kind of crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, because we're emotional creatures. I
yes,
think.
I believe that. And it's because of hormones, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like women stop being emotional like 50 when they fucking lose their hormones and they become men. Like, oh fuck you. You know that's what
We must
happens,
have lost
right?
ours a long time ago then.
Hey.
Yeah. but I'm just saying like we know that to be a thing and men accept that and men deal with that. You know what I mean? Men
Yeah.
know like if you're my girl and I know that you have your period on the 5th of every month, like I'm bringing chocolate and flowers and shit and I'm gonna be like, okay, cool. Can you give me some head after that? You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna bring you something to make you feel good. You know what I mean? Like we know that already. We already know that women are fucking crazy. Like, and it's because
I
of
think that's
that.
why
You know?
every relationship, whether it's romantic, friendship, family, whatever, it's about finding that balance.
Sure.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And again,
100%.
respecting each other's decisions and each other's opinions, and that's it. You don't have to agree. Just respect each other. Do you know
And there's a
what
way
I mean?
about going
Whatever
about it
is.
too. It's not about attacking. It's just more like on a conversational
Why
like.
can't
level.
we
You
all
don't
talk
have to-
about shit
you know,
anymore?
you don't need to be
Our
attacked,
journeys
like,
are totally different, but
Yeah.
yet we have so much respect for each other. And like, I'm never gonna just be like, oh yeah, no, Candace, that was a stupid thing. Like, I don't even like you anymore, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
it's so dumb. Like, and I think that there's so many women, especially, that are narrow-minded like that. Like, oh, you made this mistake, I can't be friends with you anymore, or oh, you're this way. I've gone through that myself
Right.
with friendships, and it's just like, what? Like, I would never judge somebody like that. Like, why would you do that to me? You know what I mean? So,
Hear you.
I don't know.
All right, so we've about almost 2 hours.
Fuck.
We've been bullshitting for a long time. I think us three can bullshit for a long time. To be
Yeah.
Oh
honest,
yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
we're definitely gonna have to do this again.
we
Yeah,
could
for
dig
sure.
in. We could dig deep. You know what I mean? I feel like
I'm gonna
Jesus
bring the
Christ.
shovel next time.
Jesus Christ. Y'all fucking made me spill all my beans, and you guys didn't spill shit.
Thank you
Next
for
time,
sharing. That was good.
It was
oh,
good.
next
yeah.
time we're gonna fucking have you guys share all kinds of shit.
Ew, I'm ready. I'm an open.
I want to
book.
hear about A, B, C, D, E,
Ah,
F, G, vacation guy.
We
big
already told
dick
you about
guy, little
Jose
dick
from
guy.
the IE.
The active one.
I need to hear about all the bullshit, but it's
We're down
cool.
with it.
I'm super stoked that we had to have this we got to have this podcast of us together. So
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you. It was
no,
fun.
you
And
kidding
thank you
me?
for joining.
Yeah.
Since we're
Hey.
both gonna be publishing it,
We're
so.
gonna both publish this shit on
Yeah.
both of our podcasts, so it's fucking super awesome. These chicks are dope. If you're not following them, you need to follow them. It's the They Ain't Shit podcast. You can find them on Spotify, all the big podcasting platforms out there. They Ain't Shit. Please follow them. They're fucking awesome. If you want a woman's perspective on shit, how wild these women are. 'Cause these women, I'm gonna be honest, these women ain't shit. But if you want to hear their shit, man, please go check them out. Subscribe. They're fucking dope. Ladies, thank you. One last big cheers. All righty. We're
Cheers,
good.
cheers.
Have a good one.